is following here. The Buffalo Bills, of course, with a big contingent down from Buffalo, which is not that far away, about 120 miles away to the north. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills ready to tee it up and go after it. The Bills will be kicking off to start the game as the Pittsburgh receiving unit is now out there. The Bills and the Steelers, as I believe you were mentioning, Frank, have met twice before. Back in 1970, Pittsburgh won 23-10. And then back in 1972, the Steelers won 38-21. The Buffalo team is sky high. It's a young football team, tremendous explosion on offense with players like O.J. Simpson, Joe Ferguson, J.D. Hill, Ahmad Rashad. What they want to do is get some points up early and force Bradshaw to throw. They don't want to get the Steelers into that ground control offense that the Steelers like to go to with big Franco Harris, a 1,000-yard rusher the last 2 years, being the key man. Now, here is John Lightpole approaching the ball for Buffalo. Left to right, he hits it deep. The ball carries down to the 3-yard line, picked up by Mel Blount. 15-20, breaks into the open, across the 25, and finally he's knocked out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Mel Blount took the ball on the 3, started up the far sideline. The blocks were there, and for a moment it looked like he might take it the distance. Then Rex Kern, a free safety, remember him as a quarterback at Ohio State, came across, caught him neck high. But the Steelers take over the ball first and 10 with very good field position.
And Rex Kern has a big job on his shoulders because he's replacing Tony Green, who is the most valuable player on the team.
Gary Bradshaw is the quarterback for Pittsburgh. His running backs Rocky Blyer and Franco Harris. Wide receivers Frank Lewis and Ron Shanklin. Here is the give. Franco Harris up the middle across the midfield stripe and down to the 48-yard line of Buffalo. Franco Harris rips off a 7-yard gain on the first play from scrimmage as Jim Chiunsky, the middle linebacker for Buffalo, made the hit. The Bills with an unusual defensive alignment. They're going with 3 down linemen, Walt Patelski, Mike Kadish, and Earl Edwards. 4 linebackers, Dave Washington, Jim Chiunsky, Doug Allen, a rookie from Penn State, and Bo Cornell. Bob James, Don Walker, Rex Kern, and Dwight Harrison are the safeties. Now Bradshaw with 2nd down and 3 at the Buffalo 48. Opening quarter, there's no score. Here is Bradshaw giving off second back through his flyers ahead. He's inside the 45. Down to the 43. And Bob Lyers ahead for a first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was hit by Doug Allen, an outside linebacker, and free safety Rex Kern has been called on to start for Buffalo in the absence of an all-pro quality player, Tony Green, who is out with a knee injury.
You can feel the tension in the players out there as well as the crowd. Both clubs tremendously keyed up for this playoff game.
Now the Steelers break the huddle. They have the ball first and 10 at the Buffalo 43-yard line. Wide receivers deployed to either side. Setbacks in an open formation. It's first down and 10. Bradshaw takes the snap, goes to Harris off the right side. He's down to the 41. He got ahead for about 2 or 3 yards. Chiunsky, a small but very quick and hard-hitting middle linebacker, 6'1", 212 pounds, and a 7th yard of Syracuse again came across to make the hit. There's a pickup of 2 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 8.
The Steelers in the playoffs for the 3rd straight year under Chuck Noll, losing in 72 the AFC Championship game to Miami after a dramatic victory over the Raiders. Back to the action and time.
2nd down and 8 in Pittsburgh. Has the ball almost at the Buffalo 40-yard line. Opening quarter, there's no score. This AFC playoff game. Here's the give. Franco Harris is hit for no gain. Harris was hit hard by Mike Kadish and Jim Chiunsky. Kadish and Patelski, 2 defensive linemen who played together at Notre Dame, have really come on for the Buffalo Bills. Kadish is the middle guard, plays right over the center in that 3 down lineman formation of the Bills. He came in low, got Franco Harris low, and Chiunsky came over the top, knocked him down for no gain. And so it will now be 3rd down and 8 for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the 41-yard line of Buffalo. 2 wide men go to the right, Frank Lewis and Ron Shanklin. The tight end is set to the near side, Larry Brown. Dropping the throw is Bradshaw, big rush against him, and they stack him at 50-yard line. Now he gets the ball away to Franco Harris. And Harris gets all the way down to the 35-yard line, short of the first down. Bradshaw was caught. He was on the way down. He threw the ball off to Franco Harris, who was about 4 feet away. Just dumped it off with the right hand, and Harris ran ahead to make it 4th down and 2. He almost got the first down as the Bills were really through. Patelski, Kadish, and Edwards all coming right through the offensive front of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And now apparently the Steelers are going to go for it from scrimmage on 4th and 2 at the Buffalo 35.
Fantastic work that time by Bradshaw. As he was about to be sacked, he ducked under 2 tacklers, and then with a man around his ankles, dumped off that pass to Harris, and shows the calmness and coolness of this guy.
Now the crowd really comes alive as the Pittsburgh Steelers break the huddle. Two tight ends in the game. The lone wide receiver is Frank Lewis. He is set to the left. In his fourth down and 2. Bradshaw rolling out to the right. He's going to run it himself. Bradshaw is hit. It looks like he's got the first down. He's knocked out of bounds across the way, but it looks like he got the yard he needed. Jim Chayefsky, the middle linebacker, came across, but Terry Bradshaw on a rollout took it himself. Let's see where they're going to spot the ball down. Apparently it's going to be close enough to measure, Frank. They're going to mark it that he went out of bounds at about the 33, and you hear the crowd reaction. Terry Bradshaw got enough for the first down. As the Steelers on 4th and 2 go for it, they get it.
Anson, it was across the way that he went out of bounds, and we're on the sun side here, thank goodness, on this cool afternoon, so we had to wait for the measurement to see if indeed he did get the first down. A gamble, but the Steelers got away with it.
The Steelers in black helmets, black jerseys, the bright yellow pants, white numerals, buffalo and white jerseys, blue pants. Steelers moving right to left. They have it first and 10 on the Buffalo 33. Here's the pitch back to Franco Harris to the near side. Tries to turn upfield. He does. Gets inside the 25-yard line down to the 20. Franco Harris is knocked out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. Rex Kern came across to hit him, but Franco Harris picks up 12 yards and a first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
They're going to give Mr. Rex Kern a real workout today with Tony Green out of the game and Kern having to fill in those big shoes. The Steelers are running at him, and Franco Harris almost got past him. He did pick up the first down on the play.
Big play in this drive was that broken play where Bradshaw dropped back. The Buffalo linemen were all over him, knocking him down. He got rid of the ball, and that kept the drive alive. As Franco Harris caught it, ran downfield. Now the Steelers are challenging. First and 10 of the Buffalo 21-yard line. Bradshaw, Harris up the middle, down to the 16-yard line. 5-yard gain. I think Franco Harris gets straight downfield for 5 yards to the 16-yard line. Walt Patowski knocked him down. It'll bring up second down and 5. Steelers running right at the Buffalo defensive front.
Franco Harris averaging 4.8 per carry. He carried 208 times on the season for a total of 1,006 yards. Quite a ball player. Quite a team, this Pittsburgh Steeler outfit.
Franco Harris has run with the ball 5 times. He has gained 27 yards so far. We have 10:37 to play in the first quarter. There's no score, but the Steelers are challenging. Pittsburgh moving right to left. Bradshaw drops back, fires in the flat. With the ball is Frank Lewis. He turns inside the 10, inside the 5, and he's wrapped down hard. Now they're going to rule he stepped out of bounds at the 9-yard line, I believe. Doug Allen came across and hit him, and Frank Lewis, a wide receiver from Grambling, a former #1 draft choice, went head over heels, high in the air. They're spotting the ball at the 9, however. It's a first down for the Steelers. Their 4th first down on this drive after the opening kickoff. And now they have 4th first and goal at the Buffalo 9.
And he was cakewalking down that sideline across the way. He might have gotten a little more yardage had he not stepped out of bounds. Here come the Steelers out of their huddle. They got 4 downs to go 9 yards.
They send wide receivers to either side. Lewis is to the left. Ron Shanklin to the right. Bradshaw, first back through, pitches back to Franco Harris. He is hit and knocked down for a loss. A beautiful tackle by Rex Kern. It was 1-on-1. Bradshaw gave a great fake, then pitched back to Franco Harris, and Rex Kern was 1-on-1 with him as the rest of the Buffalo defense went for the first back. Flyer. And Rex Kern made the tackle outside the 10-yard line. So it'll be second and goal from just outside the Buffalo 10.
I paused to think about that play. It looked like a busted play, but I'm wondering if Bradshaw wasn't trying to make it look like a busted play because he was hit and then pitched out to Harris.
Now the Steelers break the huddle. Wide to the right, Ron Shanklin. Flank to the left is Frank Lewis. Second down and goal from just outside the Buffalo 10. Bradshaw gives to Harris up the middle, inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. A quick trap up the middle. Chayefsky upended Franco Harris as he went by, and Harris dove ahead for 3 more yards. And so now the Pittsburgh Steelers have the ball, 3rd and goal at the Buffalo 4-yard line.
Shanklin was in the far corner playing the part of a decoy, but Bob James had him covered like a blanket just in case the pass came that way. But the Steelers elected to go on the ground. Both Saban and Knoll are conservative ball-type coaches. They prefer to run that football.
Dave Costas now in as the defensive end. Buffalo goes to a 5-man offensive front. Goal line defense, 3rd and goal from the 4 for Pittsburgh. Bradshaw bootlegging. He's looking into the end zone. The rush is against him. He's looking to throw. Puts it up. It's dropped. Almost caught. A beautiful defensive play by all-pro Robert James. The ball was triggered into Ron Shanklin, who was right on the money. But as the ball arrived, Robert James put a hard lick right in the small of the back The ball popped free, and now the Steelers field goal unit is out, Frank.
And Bradshaw had plenty of time. He was looking all over the place for receivers, but the Bills had some defense very well that time. And James is probably the toughest man to try to pass against. Girella will try the field goal.
Roy Girella will be kicking from the 11-yard line, a 21-yard attempt. The set down is good. The soccer-style kick is high. It's good. It went over the upright. Very nearly a miss, but it's good. And the Pittsburgh Steelers take the lead 3-0. Now there's a timeout on the field, and this for Exxon.
Now another tip that may be useful to you, presented by Exxon.
If you want to get rid of tobacco odors and other odors in your car, try this. Just sprinkle a little baking soda in the ashtray. Yes, plain old baking soda from the kitchen. The soda actually absorbs tobacco odors. It'll also help keep chewing gum from sticking. Just remember to change the soda each time the ashtray is emptied.
And speaking of changing things, do you know how often you should change your motor oil? Most car manufacturers have new oil drain recommendations this year. Their maximum recommendation may be excessive for your car under some driving conditions. And of course, the new cars must have very high-quality oil to protect their warranty. But it needn't be all that complicated if you talk to your Exxon retailer. He has the information and the experience to tell you what kind of oil your car needs and how often you should change it. Ask him. He's there to help you under the Exxon sign.
Right here at Three River Stadium this afternoon. It'll be the Steelers kicking off. They lead 3-0 as they took the opening kickoff, almost broke the play, and got to the 45 and then got down to the 11-yard line for the field goal.
Now Roy Girella is ready to kick off. Somewhat of a moral victory for Buffalo. The Bills lucky to hold Pittsburgh off from scoring a touchdown, but the Steelers lead 3-0. Here's Wallace at the 15-yard line, 20-25, out to the 30. Dives out to the 33-yard line. He was upended as he came straight ahead by Dave Reeves. And now the Buffalo Bills offensive unit comes out. The Bills send their offensive unit out. The quarterback is Joe Ferguson in his second year from Arkansas. A rifle-armed 185-pounder, 6'1". His running back, Jim Braxton, a 245-pound fullback, and the incomparable O.J. Simpson. The wide receivers are Ahmad Rashad. He is set to the right. J.D. Hill is out to the left. It is 1st and 10, Buffalo Bills moving left to right. They trail Pittsburgh 3-0. Here is again, second back through is O.J. Simpson, turns the corner, crosses the 35, towers upfield. Look at the man run with the ball.
All right.
Ahead for 9 yards. A brilliant run by O.J. Simpson. They're going to go to him a lot today. He turned the corner, put a fake on one man, lost and went for 5 yards. Was hit, spun off, and went ahead for a 9-yard gain.
As we said at the outset, as O.J. Simpson goes, so goes the Bills. And he gave us a demonstration on the first play that he's ready for this game today. Terrific balance. Fantastic runner. Of course, the Steelers will be keying on him. It depends on what Joe Ferguson can do. If he can come up with some conniving and get them off guard, he can put the Bills downfield.
L.C. Greenwood, Joe Green, Ernie Holmes, and Dwight White across the defensive front of the Steelers. That great defensive line, number 1 in the AFC, the Steeler defense. 2nd and 1 Buffalo. First back through is Braxton. He breaks into the open, hits out close to midfield for a first down, and knocked down at the 49. Jim Braxton was hit down by Andy Russell, an outside linebacker and safety Mike Wagner. Jack Ham, Jack Lambert, and Andy Russell back the line for Pittsburgh. J.T. Thomas and Mel Blunter at the corner. Mike Wagner and Glenn Edwards are the safeties. The up front blockers for Buffalo, the tacklers are Dave Foley and Don Green. The guards, Reggie McKenzie and Joe DeLamielleure. And the center is Mike Mottler. Buffalo driving now. The Bills have the ball right at midfield, 1st and 10. They're in an eye set. O.J.'s the deep back. Joe Ferguson looks over his offensive lineman. They're set down now. Here is the snap from Mottler. Second back through, O.J. Simpson. He is hit and knocked down for a loss. 2 Steelers cracked him. Middle linebacker, Jack Lambert. And outside linebacker, Jack Ham. Both keying on O.J. Simpson, and they drilled him for a loss of 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 12.
And that's one of those quick decisions that a running back has to make. O.J. went for the hole. The hole was closed up, and he tried to go to the right, but there were too many Steelers there to prevent him from going any further. Simpson has averaged 4.2 a carry. Braxton 3.7 on the season, with Watkins on a 4.1 average. So they've got some good runners.
It is now going to be 2nd down and 11. They stopped the ball down to 49. They gave O.J. that much forward progress, and now the Bills, Joe Ferguson fakes. He's dropping to throw. He has time. triggers the ball. The man is wide open. J.D. Hill was wide open. The ball was thrown short of him. Hill was running across pattern. He was down for Steelers 40. There wasn't a Pittsburgh Steeler within 10 yards of him. They were all going deep. With Ahmad Rashad on the tight end, Paul Seymour, a very interesting pattern. As the Bills sent their tight end, Paul Seymour, deep. They sent wide receiver Ahmad Rashad deep, and they sent the fastest man on their team, J.D. Hill, on a short pattern. He was left wide open.
I think Ferguson may even have fooled his own receiver on that one because he pumped once and then headed for his man, but he threw behind him.
Now the Bills pull their tight end on 3rd and 11. They go to a third wide receiver. Bob Chandler is in. Former captain of Southern California. He is wide to the right, as is Ahmad Rashad. J.D. Hill's out to the left. 3rd and 11. Here is the fake to give. They go to O.J. Simpson on 3rd and 11. He is hit for no gain at midfield. That'll bring up 4th and 10, and Buffalo will have to punt. Joe Ferguson trying to catch the Steelers in an all-out rush and send O.J. by him, and Pittsburgh was waiting for it. They knock O.J. down for no gain.
And the Pittsburgh fans are giving the defense a standing ovation here on that great effort that they pulled off against the Buffalo Bills. Punt formation for the Bills, and 2 men are deep for the Steelers. So there'll be a turnover on this football.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have Lynn Swann, the always dangerous rookie, back. They have returned every punt in the last 11 games. And here's the kick to Swann. He'll return it from the 14. Darting upfield, he looks. He's going to be hit and knocked down back inside the 15-yard line. No return by Lynn Swann that time after a 36-yard punt. Excellent coverage by the Buffalo Bills as Marv Bateman hit the ball down, and he led the coverage downfield. He was right down on it. And Marv Bateman was in on the tackle, so it'll be Pittsburgh on offense, 1st and 10. And they're starting the ball now right at the 15-yard line.
There's a timeout now with the score. The Steelers 3 and the Buffalo Bills nothing. Now, this word.
Beginning with the 1975 model, almost every car sold in America will have to run on only one kind of gasoline, no lead. But there's a real need for this gasoline right now, because ever since 1971, auto manufacturers have been designing cars that can run on no-lead gasoline. So Getty, the company famous for selling one grade of gasoline, is now selling 2, Getty Premium, and introducing Getty No-Lead. Because Getty No-Lead is just that, a no-lead gasoline, if you own a 71 or newer car and you use Getty No-Lead, you shouldn't need as many tune-ups, which means Getty No-Lead gives you more miles for your money from your ignition system, more miles for your money from your spark plug, more miles for your money from your emission control system. Getty No-Lead. You'll have to use it in the future, but you'll use it now if you're smart.
1st and 10 for the Steelers. They go to Franco Harris. He is knocked down back at the 12-yard line as he tries to go wide to the left. Blitzing on the play with an outside linebacker, Doug Allen, and a big defensive end, Earl Edwards, also came in to make the hit. So Franco Harris was hit as soon as he got the handoff from Terry Bradshaw. He spots the ball at the Pittsburgh 13-yard line. It is going to be 2nd down and 13 to go for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They lead the game 3-0 here in the first quarter. 5:10 to play in it. They drove down, had a 1st and goal to the Buffalo 9. The Bills held off, and then Girella hit a 21-yard field goal. Bradshaw dropping the throw. He's got time now. A big rush. He triggers it quickly and incomplete. Dave Washington, an outside linebacker, was coming on a blitz at Terry Bradshaw, and Bradshaw caught him out of the corner of his eye, fired the ball in the ear flat, nowhere near the intended receiver. Frank Lewis, Dwight Harrison was covering on the play. It'll be 3rd and 13 for Pittsburgh. Frank?
Stay with Mutual all afternoon because immediately following this game from Los Angeles, it'll be the Rams entertaining the Washington Redskins to decide who's going to go up against Minnesota. And on our Mutual line today, WGN in Chicago carrying both games, and their own Jack Bickart will be bringing us the Sugar Bowl game here on Mutual on New Year's Eve.
It is 3rd down and 13 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dropping the throw is Terry Bradshaw. He has time, triggers it in the flat. It is caught by Frank Lewis at the 24-yard line. Short of a 1st down, however, but very close to one. A brilliant reception. The Buffalo cornerback tried to make the big play on the game and tried to intercept. He almost got to it. Dwight Harrison came up on the play, but he just mistimed it. But that'll bring up 4th down and about 2 yards to go for the 1st down, so the Steelers will be punting. The Bills hold the second time Pittsburgh gets the ball, and now the Pittsburgh Steelers with Bob Walton in the game will be punting. Walton is standing back at the 11-yard line. Back deep now for the Buffalo Bills is Don Walker, number 26. Donnie Walker standing back at the Buffalo 35-yard line. Here's the snap. It's a good one to Walton. Light rush by the Bills. Not too long a punt, a knuckleball. Rex Kern goes over, takes a look at, lets it go out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. And there the Buffalo Bills will go on offense, first and 10 for the second time in the game as Walton hits the ball 34 yards for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 4 minutes and 46 seconds left to go in the first quarter. The AFC playoff opener for these two teams. The winner to meet the Oakland Raiders for the American Football Conference Championship next Sunday in Oakland, California.
With the score, the Steelers 3 and the Bills nothing. There's a timeout on the field. Now this for Ford.
To the 28,000 people who will buy a new car tomorrow, don't overlook America's best-selling newcomer. Of all the cars with new names introduced in 1975, one car has outsold all the other newcomers combined. Ford's Granada. Why? Ford feels it's simply a matter of value. Listen to these Granada owners.
A neighbor across the street looked out and said, "Oh, ho, he's bought him a new Mercedes. Where did he get all that money?"
Our Granada is so beautiful and elegant, and I'm surprised it's this great for the price. I heard one man say to another man, it must be at least $8,000.
Granada. Base sticker price $36.98, excluding taxes, title, delivery, and dealer prep.
Excellent value of the Granada.
Everybody came up there. Everybody. And they talked about the car, and they couldn't believe the value.
Value. No matter what size car you want, Ford challenges you to match value dollar for dollar with any other car. Ford means value, and your local Ford dealer can show you. Look close and compare.
Back to the action now. The give on first down is off to O.J. Simpson off the left side. He pokes. This broke the 45-yard line, but a penalty marker goes down on the play. We might have a legal motion against the Buffalo Bills. Offside is signaled against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Joe Green left early. And so Buffalo will now have it first and 5 as they'll advance the ball out from the 43-yard line out to the 48. The Pittsburgh Steelers lead the game 3-0 with 4 minutes and 41 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Pittsburgh, the first time they got the ball, got a good opening kickoff return, and then drove downfield, could not take it in. Roy Juella hit a 21-yard soccer-style field goal. Now the Bills break the huddle with white jerseys and white helmets, blue pants, and the dark blue numerals. They're moving left to right. The Bills with open field to the right on this artificial turf surface here at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. Quarterback Joe Ferguson dropping the throw on second down. First down, he completes it to J.D. Hill at the 36-yard line. It's a first down for Buffalo. J.D. Hill with that brilliant deep speed. He was a legitimate 9-300 man at Arizona State, a former number 1 draft choice of the Buffalo Bills. A player, when he came out of Arizona State, who was assessed by professional scouts almost as highly as O.J. Simpson as far as having native ability.
Prior to today's game, they had a big tarp on the field, and they had the heaters blowing underneath that tarp. Then they came out with the vacuum cleaners and tried to soak up as much of the water as they could, but it's still a little bit damp down on that playing surface.
Now the Bills are moving the ball, Frank. They have it first and 10 at the 36-yard line of Pittsburgh. First and 10. Joe Ferguson with a long count. O.J. Simpson is the lone setback. He's running a pass pattern as Ferguson stops the throw, triggers it long, overthrows everybody. Joe Ferguson was being rushed, and apparently he just put too much on the ball. He's looking over at the sideline now to head coach Lou Saban, saying, I don't know what happened.
We pause briefly for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network. The Bills coming up the line of scrimmage, and here again, Don Crickey.
It is second down and 10 for the Buffalo Bills. The ball is at the 36-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers here late in the first quarter. Pittsburgh leads the game 3-0. Wide to the left, and Rashad. Wide to the right, J.D. Hill. Here is Ferguson. Goes to O.J. Simpson, slanting up the middle. Simpson gets inside the 35 and down close to the 32-yard line. On second down, he gained about 4 yards. It'll be third down and 6 now for Buffalo. Defensive tackle Ernie Holmes, who wears number 63, now in his third year from Texas Southern, was on the stop for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And again, the Bills go to 3 wide receivers as tight end Paul Seymour comes out, and Bob Chandler goes in. The last time you recall on third and long yardage, the Bills tried to catch the Steelers in an all-out rush. They went to the run to O.J. Simpson, but he was stopped for no gain, and Buffalo had a punt. Third down and 6 for Buffalo. 33-yard line of Pittsburgh. Joe Ferguson going with a long count. Now he's dropping back. He's got some time. Here's the rush. He puts it up. The ball is caught by Jim Braxton for a first down. Jim Braxton caught the ball at the 27. He had to get to the 26. He weighs 245 pounds. He turned around and carried linebackers Andy Russell and Jack Lambert right with him for 3 more yards.
And carry them he had to do to get that first down. Great play. And the Lazy Boy Chair Company will recognize the most outstanding defensive and the most outstanding offensive player in today's game by awarding them a Lazy Boy reclining chair. Pat Livingston of the Pittsburgh Press, Larry Felser of the Buffalo Evening News, and Larry Middlemiss of the Detroit News will make that decision.
The Buffalo Bills, who lost their last 2 regular season games, 4 of the last 6, look like they're ready to play football today now. As they're challenging, Pittsburgh is leading 3-0. Buffalo first and 10 of the Pittsburgh 24. Joe Ferguson again goes with a long count. Pitches back to O.J. Simpson, runs to the near side. He comes inside the 25-yard line. He's down to the 22. O.J. got ahead for maybe 3 yards as he dove downfield. He was knocked down by Ernie Holmes and Jack Ham. Simpson started to go wide. He has the option to, on the sweep, to either go wide or take it off tackle. But O.J. let him pick his hold.
Reggie McKenzie was leading the way, third-year veteran out of Michigan, and O.J. had to really slow up a little bit for him because McKenzie, 6'4", 242, can't move quite as fast as O.J. can.
O.J. calls McKenzie his main man, his main blocker. It'll be second and a long 7 now for the Buffalo Bills at the 22-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Joe Ferguson going with long counts, trying to catch those Steeler linemen coming early. Ferguson drops the throw, puts it open. The tight end has the ball. Paul Seymour is in for a touchdown. Paul Seymour caught the ball at the 2-yard line and dove in for a touchdown. Just getting over the last line as the Bills go 56 yards in 6 plays to take the lead 6-3.
Well, the Buffalo Bills have done what the Pittsburgh Steelers could not do. The Pittsburgh Steelers had to settle for a field goal at 8:51 into the period. Now with just a minute and 26 to go, the Buffalo Bills have taken a 6-3 lead, and they have a chance to open that up by a little bit more with the point after if it's successful. 6-3 Buffalo. The try coming up.
The 22-yard touchdown pass play. Now John Lightfall is in to try to point after. Bob Chandler will hold. Here's the snap at the go, and the set down. The kick is high, deep, and it's good. Right to the upright center. Buffalo Bills take the lead 7-3.
We have 1 minute and 26 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And that might just do it for the Buffalo Bills. It might give them the momentum they need. Everyone was talking about the Bills coming in here. They're kind of flat, but they had lost their last 2 games. They'd lost 4 of their last 6 games. But now they seem to have everything generating for them. Braxton's running well. O.J. Simpson and he pairing off to do the running. And Paul Seymour hauling in that 22-yard touchdown pass from Joe Ferguson. And then the point after now makes it 7-3. And on the sunshiny but very brisk and cool afternoon at Three Rivers Stadium, Mutual happy to be on the scene. Frank Lee along with Tom Crickey. And immediately following this game, it'll be Los Angeles and Washington from the West Coast.
Now John Lightfall has just hit the extra point and set to kick off. He drills it low and deep. The ball is fielded at the 12-yard line by Steve Davis. He's across the 20. Across the 30, breaks it open field, knocked down the 37. Steve Davis caught a line drive kickoff. Lightfall can really hit the ball. And then he started straight ahead. The Steelers put the front line of Buffalo pursuers open. Davis ran ahead out to the 37 where he was knocked down by Ted Coy. So Pittsburgh goes in offense with relatively good field position. First and 10 at their 37. They led the game 3-0. Buffalo's just come back. Going 56 yards in 6 plays, the last 22, and a touchdown pass from Joe Ferguson to tight end Paul Seymour. It's now 7-3 Buffalo. Here's a give. Franco Harris off the right side. Doesn't get much. Got out close to the 40. Pick up about 2, maybe 3 yards. Patulski and Kadish were both on the tackle for the Buffalo Bills. A gain of just over 2 yards. We'll call it second and a long 7. The ball is just short of the Pittsburgh 40-yard line. The Steelers in black and the bright yellow. The black helmets playing on their field before this spirited crowd. It's calmed down now as the Bills have come back to take the lead. We have 47 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Harry Bradshaw sets his team down. He fakes. He's dropping the throw. He has a lot of time. Figures the ball out. A man is open, but he overthrows the tight end Larry Brown at the Buffalo 42-yard line. The wide receiver speed men. Frank Lewis and Ron Shanklin were running the deep patterns. The Buffalo zone was stretched out, and underneath came the tight end Larry Brown. He was wide open. Bradshaw had too much on the ball. And it goes as an incomplete pass. That'll bring up third in a long 7 for the Pittsburgh Steelers at their 40-yard line. The incomplete pass stopping the clock with 38 seconds to play in the first quarter.
So far impressed by the fact that each of these quarterbacks are seemingly having plenty of time with which to look downfield for his possible receivers. Back to the action, Dan.
It is third down and a long 7 for Bradshaw and the Steelers at the Pittsburgh 40. He's dropping the throw back inside his 30. A big rush. They're going to get him. Now he gets away. He's running. Terry Bradshaw gets the first down. Bradshaw running brilliantly, gets out of bounds at the 49-yard line. He got the first down by a couple of yards. Again, the Bills had a big rush on him. And again, Bradshaw eludes it and runs for a first down.
And Bradshaw always a crowd pleaser in the way when he gets away from a couple of big backs and starts running for the first down, he's pointing ahead to his defense leaders out there. Get that man out of my way, and I'll pick up a little more yardage. He's picked up the first down at the 49-yard line with just 30 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. 7-3, the Bills lead it.
So the Steelers get the big play from Terry Bradshaw. They keep their drive alive. They have the ball at the Pittsburgh 48-yard line where it's spotted out of bounds, but it is a first down. Here is a give to Franco Harris running off the right side. The Bills garner him and knock him down at the Buffalo 49. Jim Chiansky and Mike Cadiz came across, made the hit on Franco Harris. This big play is running on slants to the right or left, primarily the right side. The blockers there are Gordon Gravel and Jerry Mullins, the tight end Larry Brown. There was a gain of 3 yards on the play. It'll be second down and 7 now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that will be the final play of the first quarter as the gun sounds at the end of the first quarter with the score. The Buffalo Bills 7, the Pittsburgh Steelers 3.
Here at the end of the first quarter, we've got a ball game on our hands today as the review, in case you joined us late, Buffalo kicked off to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh almost broke free with the opening kickoff. They returned it to the 45, and then they marched down to the 11-yard line, but they couldn't go in for the touchdown. Some great work by James, the defensive back, for the Buffalo Bills, denying them a chance to get in. And then the Buffalo Bills on a 22-yard pass to Paul Seymour for the touchdown were able to make it a 6-3 game. The point after put them in the lead by a 7-3 score. That's where we are at the end of the first quarter here at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At Three River Stadium, this is Frank Smitty along with Don Crickey. The first quarter has run its course, and the ball is just on the right-hand side of that midfield marker at the 48-yard line. Statistics in that first quarter, mighty close. Pittsburgh, 5 first downs, Buffalo 4. In total yards, Pittsburgh 75, Buffalo 67. Pittsburgh got 52 on the ground, 23 passing, just a reverse for Buffalo, 45 yards passing and 22 on the ground. 3 out of 6 pass completions for the Steelers, 3 out of 5 for the Bills. No interceptions, no fumbles lost, just a 5-yard penalty, and that was against the Steelers. We're ready to go. The Steelers out of the huddle at the Bills 48.
And there it will be second down and 7 for Pittsburgh. Buffalo leading as we open the second quarter, 7-3. Terry Bradshaw sets wide receivers to either side. He hands up to Rocky Blyer, turns the corner, crosses the 45, ducks inside, and dives ahead for a first down. Rocky Blyer, the former Notre Dame captain, dives down to the 41-yard line of Buffalo and gets the first down. Dwight Harrison knocked him down along with Walt Pokowski and Doug Allen. A fine run by Vietnam veteran Rocky Blyer. And so now the ball is advanced down close to the Buffalo 40-yard line. First and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're in the opening moment to the second quarter. Buffalo leading 7-3. They scored on a 22-yard touchdown pass from Joe Ferguson to tight end Paul Seymour after Pittsburgh had gone in front 3-0 on a field goal by Roy Girella from 21 yards out. 2 wide receivers come to the right side. Blyer goes in motion to the left. Pitch back to Franco Harris. Tries to turn the left side. They catch him. He gets away, and then he's knocked down for no gain. Good defense by the Bills. They strung it out. Mirrored the blockers in front of Franco Harris, man for man, and then knocked down Franco Harris. Jim Chiansky put the first hit on him. So there's a loss actually of a half yard in the play. It'll be second down. We'll call it a long 10. The ball's at the 41-yard line of Buffalo.
No doubt about it, there's a lot of heavy hitting going on down there in those two lines. The offense and defense are hitting against each other pretty hard. The Steelers have been in this playoff route 3 times now. The Buffalo Bills here for the first time. Under their head coach, Lou Saban, they want to go on to victory.
The Pittsburgh Steelers break the huddle. Terry Bradshaw sends Shanklin and Lewis wide to the left on second and a long 10 of the Buffalo 41. Bradshaw's rolling out. He's going to run with the ball. It's a foul play, and Bradshaw has another first down. He's knocked down hard. Bradshaw dives inside the 30-yard line. And he gets a first down at the 29-yard line as Bradshaw running well with the ball. That's his third run. And the second time he's gotten a first down. He has 22 yards and 3 carries.
And he might have picked up more, except he had to try to hurdle Jim Clack out there, and his own man was responsible for bringing him down, I believe.
Yeah, he was upended by his own man, and he went down hard in the shoulder. He's had some problems with that shoulder, but he bounced right up. So now the Pittsburgh Steelers are challenging. They have the ball first and 10 at the Buffalo 28-yard line. Here's the snap, a handoff to Franco Harris. Turns the right side, gets down and into the 27-yard line. A gain of little over a yard. As Dave Washington hit Franco Harris, just as the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is keying on O.J. Simpson of the Bills, so 2 of the Buffalo linebackers making a hit on Franco Harris in every play. He hasn't gotten much so far. He's run with the ball now 12 times, has gained 37 yards.
We expected that the Bills would be in a 3-man line most of the day, but they've been jockeying back and forth from a 3 to a 5 and then occasionally a 4 front. Let's see what they do on this one. They've got 5 of them lined up out there. Of course, they sometimes move in the linebackers pretty tight there, too, to make it almost a 7-man line.
And now it's going to be second down and a long 9 for Pittsburgh at the Buffalo 28-yard line. Bradshaw dropping the throw, starts to roll out. Can't find a receiver. Now he outs it into the end zone. Flyers out there. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Bob Flyer had linebacker Doug Allen beaten and caught the ball for a Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers going 63 yards in 9 plays. The last 28 on a Terry Bradshaw and a Rocky Flyer touchdown pass, which Flyer caught in the dead run in the end zone.
So now it's a 9-7 game. The lead has changed hands. Pittsburgh in the charge of things now, and Roy Girella will try to make it a 10-7 game. 11 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the first half, and the Steelers lead 9-7. Here's the PAT try.
Roy Girella will be kicking. Walden will hold. Here's the snap to set down and score. The soccer-style kick is blocked. The Buffalo Bills blocked the extra point attempt. And so it is a 9-7 game, and that, of course, could be vital in the final outcome on this extra point.
Now with that score, the Pittsburgh Steelers 9, the Buffalo Bills 7. There's a timeout in the field. This for Delco and Lazy Boy.
Maybe all you know about batteries is they're necessary to start your car, and you want one that will give you dependable starting. That's just what the Delco battery was designed to do. It supplies a burst of power to start a car in almost any weather. If you're just not sure about your battery, stop in at a Delco dealer. Have him check everything out. If you need a new battery, have him install a new Delco battery.
We enjoy Christmas in Florida, too. This is Coach Don Schuler with a special Christmas message. For the perfect gift this Christmas, give a Lazy Boy chair. Lazy Boy, with its rugged construction and He-Man comfort. Lazy Boy gives you reclining pleasure day after day and Christmas after Christmas. But remember, there are many imitations, but only one Lazy Boy. Take it from Don Schuler. This year, your perfect gift is a first-class recliner from Lazy Boy. The chair people. It's a champion.
Pittsburgh Steelers lead by 2 points, 9-7, as Girella tees up that ball at his own 35-yard line, and the Buffalo Bills get set to receive the kickoff.
Girella approaches the ball. He'll be heading it left to right. Wallace Francis is back deep for the Buffalo Bills. He takes the kickoff at the 10-yard line. 15, 20, across the far side, 25, 30. Still on his feet. Now he dances to the outside. He fumbles the ball, and Buffalo recovers. A Buffalo player fell on as Wallace Francis, trying to spring himself, spinning and diving away from the Steelers, lost the football. But it looked like Doug Allen, who was just beaten for the touchdown, a wrecked turn, fell on the ball. So Buffalo goes in offense first and 10. They're spotting the ball at the Buffalo 29-yard line. There might be a lot of scoring in this football game. Both teams have shown they can throw the ball on each other. And 2 touchdown passes, but after the last one, who gave the Steelers the lead, the extra point was blocked. So Pittsburgh leads the Bills 9-7. 11:38 to play in the first half. Joe Ferguson with an eye set in his backfield. O.J. the deep back. A long count. He's been going with that all day. Goes to Simpson. Straight up the middle. Simpson's across the 35, across the 40-yard line. He has the first down for Buffalo on a straight-ahead carry for 11 yards. The two safeties finally got him. An 11-yard gain. Talking to O.J. before the game. Very quiet, subdued. They say that's how Simpson is before a big game. There's very little to say. Seemingly very unemotional, but he's a volcano inside. He's just ready to play football.
He's a fantastic runner. It looked like it was only room enough for a 5-year-old boy to get through that line that time, and he found the hole and went through.
11 yards was an amazing run. Great run up the middle by Simpson. Now the Bills have the ball first and 10 of their 40-yard line. Joe Ferguson again with a long count. Here's the snap to give. It goes to fullback Jim Braxton, powering ahead maybe 2 yards. He's out to about the 42 or 3-yard line. L.C. Greenwood, the big defensive end from Arkansas A&M, was there to make the hit for Pittsburgh along with middle linebacker Jack Lambert and tackle Ernie Holmes. There was a gain of 2 yards on the play. The ball is spotted at the 42-yard line of Buffalo. Second down and 8 for the Buffalo Bills. There's going to be a lot of passing in this game, and you have to think, Frank, there's going to be a lot more scoring.
Yeah, and I think O.J. Simpson would be very happy to take that offensive unit out to dinner tonight.
Simpson's run with the ball 6 times. He has gained 26 yards this game so far. Joe Ferguson takes the snap. He takes the handoff. He's rolling out. He's got time, triggering it long. The man is open. Ahmad Rashad. He catches the ball and then drops it at the 13-yard line. Ahmad Rashad had the defense beaten so badly that he literally had to stop and wait for the football, and J.T. Thomas then caught up. The ball came in. Thomas came back, and it bounced off Rashad's chest. He was open when it came down. Had Ferguson put a little bit more on it, he triggered about 55 yards in the air. It would have been a short touchdown for Buffalo.
I think J.T. Thomas had a little bit to do with his dropping that ball. I think he hit into the stomach of him just as the ball hit there at the same moment. But Rashad doesn't drop them very often, even when he's covered that tightly.
I will guarantee you we'll see that play again, though.
You bet.
Rashad had J.T. Thomas beaten very badly. Now, Rashad goes wide to the right again against J.T. Thomas. Wide to the left is J.D. Hill against Mel Blunt. It is 3rd and 8 for Buffalo at the Bills' 42-yard line. The Steelers lead the second quarter 9-7. Joe Ferguson down over his center. Mike Mottler dropping the throw. He hands off to Simpson. He's knocked down for a loss of 5 yards. Len Edwards was coming on a safety blitz, looking to get the quarterback. And again, the Bills on 3rd and long yards go to the handoff to O.J. Simpson. And again, Pittsburgh knocks it down for a loss. And now Buffalo has to punt with 4th and 13.
The game continues at the beginning of side 2 after a short delay.
This is the kind of a game that we anticipated it would be. Another AFC thriller where they start putting those points on the board. Buffalo trailing 7-6, has to give it up by way of the punt. Make that 9-7, I'm sorry.
Here's the snap. The punt by Marv Bateman is downfield. It hits at the 33-yard line. Down to the 32, it's down there. And the Steelers will go on offense. They do not get a return. A short punt, only 28 yards by Bateman. But there was no return by the always dangerous Lynn Swan. And so the Pittsburgh Steelers leading 9-7 go back on offense with 9:23 to play in the first half, right?
And with the score, the Steelers 9 and the Buffalo Bills 7. There's a timeout. Now this for British Leyland.
Just imagine a sweepstakes that lets you win not 1 but 2 great cars, that gives you a thrifty family sedan plus your choice from 4 fantastic fun cars. Well, the Great British Car Sweepstakes is for real, and it's here now at your nearest Austin MG dealer. If you're a licensed driver, just drop into the dealership. While you're there, you might want to test drive our tough, practical Marina sedan. Sign up for the sweepstakes. You could win a 4-door Marina, plus a Jaguar E-Type V12, or a TR6 convertible, or an MGB convertible, or our incomparable Land Rover. Hurry, sweepstakes ends December 31st, 1974. The Great British Car Sweepstakes at your Austin MG dealer. No purchase necessary. It's really great. Offer void in these states: Georgia, Idaho, Missouri, Ohio, Maryland, Washington, and Wisconsin, and wherever prohibited by law.
The Pittsburgh Steelers go to Rocky Flyer in a straight-ahead run. He gets out across the 35-yard line, out close to the 37. On a first down play, he got 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jim Chiansky, the Bills' middle linebacker, again was the first man to make the hit for Buffalo. The Steelers are moving left to right here in the second quarter. The clock is running. It shows 9 minutes to play in the first half. Pittsburgh leads Buffalo 9-7. Steelers led first 3-0. Bills came back to take the lead 7-3. Steelers came back, and then their extra point was blocked. So they're now up 9-7. Here's an end around to Lynn Swan. He's got open field. Lynn Swan's across the 45, across the 50. Inside the 40, he slips and falls to the Buffalo 38. Rookie Lynn Swan, the number 1 draft choice for the Pittsburgh Steelers from Southern California. Came around from right to left and down the far sideline. Wasn't a Bill with even a shot at him as he ripped off a 25-yard run, and it would have been more if he had not slipped on the wet turf, the AstroTurf, trying to cut back.
Great timing, great call by Terry Bradshaw on that play, which has got the Steelers now at the 38 of the Buffalo Bills. First down, and they're on the move. They lead by 2, 9-7, and the scoreboard flash is go, go, go. And the fans pick it up.
First and 10 for the Steelers. Here's Bradshaw dropping the throw way back. He has time, figures it out. Lynn Swan has the ball, and is inside the 30 and down to the 26 for another first down. Lynn Swan jumping high in the air, caught the ball, let her high, came down and dove forward for 5 more yards for a first down. As he advances the ball down to the Buffalo 26-yard line, Dave Washington and Doug Allen were on the tackle for Buffalo, but the Steelers are challenging again.
I don't know what's
playing a very fine football game, Frank.
I don't know what's happened in Buffalo Bills defense all of a sudden because the pass receivers are wide open. There's not a man around him for 10 yards.
7.5 minutes. They were indeed wide open. 7.5 to go in the second quarter. Here's a pitch back to Franco Harris, trying to turn wide to the left. He gets some yardage now, dives inside the 20, and he's down and head for another 10-yard gain, and still another first down for Pittsburgh. Franco Harris running wide to the left, gets 1 block, gets 2, fights off tacklers, and lunges ahead for 10 yards and a first down for the Steelers.
John Cole gave him a great block over there at about the 20-yard line, which enabled him to get down to the 15. And when you got the interference running for you as much as he did on that play, there's nothing you can do to stop him.
The Pittsburgh Steelers now have the ball at the Buffalo 16-yard line. First and 10. The Steelers with 11 first downs here in the first half. They lead the game 9-7. And Pittsburgh is challenging again. Terry Bradshaw sets his team down. The 2 wide receivers to the left. He swings the pass down. It goes to Lynn Swan. He's inside the 15, inside the 10. He's pinned down to the 2-yard line before he's knocked down. A quick flip out the far flat to Lynn Swan. He took off down the far sideline. And Lynn Swan got all the way down to the 2-yard line of Buffalo for still another first down before Jim Tyonski knocked him down just before he went in the end zone.
And he went prancing down that sideline like a young colt with those knees high. He wanted to get the touchdown, did Swan. He got awful close to it, about 1.5 yards away. But more importantly, even though they didn't score, the Steelers now have 4 downs in which to go the distance. 5:59 remaining in the half. It's 9-7 at the moment, Pittsburgh.
First and goal for the Steelers at the Buffalo 2-yard line. Blyer and Franco Harris are the setbacks. Franco Harris gets the handoff. He's down close to the goal line, but they don't signal touchdown. Apparently he was upended by Walt Patulski and Mike Kadish before he got in. The ball is spotted about a foot away from the Buffalo goal line. It'll be second and goal from there.
The Bills stopped the Steelers early, and they had to settle for a field goal try. But now they've got 2, 3 more downs in which to go a foot. I think it's almost impossible to keep them out of the end zone, but we're here to bring it to you and tell you what happened.
The Steelers break the huddle. Franco Harris is aligned in the fullback position directly behind Terry Bradshaw. Second and goal from the foot out. Franco Harris, touchdown Pittsburgh. Franco Harris rockets it in from about a foot out as the Steelers go 66 yards in 7 plays. And now they're out in front 15-7.
And the Steelers have come alive. I think that Buffalo touchdown, the pass to Paul Seymour, kind of got them charged up a little bit. And then they came back, and Rocky Blyer got the touchdown and put them ahead 9-7. The point after try was blocked. Now they lead 15-7. Girella would try to make it 16-7. Let's see what happens.
Walden will hold. Here is the extra point attempt by Girella. This one was tipped, but it gets through. It's good. One of the Buffalo players got a hand on the ball, but it went through the upright. And so, with 5 minutes and 8 seconds left to play in the first half, there's a timeout with the score. The Pittsburgh Steelers 16, the Buffalo Bills 7. And now this word. 16-7. The Steelers over the Buffalo Bills here at their home field. And a home field advantage
And the home crowd are sure behind the Steelers. They started out a little bit slow, like maybe they were going to have a real problem on their hands. Of course, this ball game is a long way from over. We've got 5 minutes and 8 seconds remaining here in the first half, and then we've got a whole second half to play. The sun has dipped down the back of the rim of the stadium here. The lights are on, and it seems like the chill is getting a little more like Minnesota weather than here. 66 yards in 7 plays by the Steelers on that touchdown drive. And you look around at the makeup of these clubs, there's some great ball players out there. They'd have to be great to get this far. But I always think of Rocky Flyer. There's a guy that has gone through so much. He was injured, wounded in Vietnam. He came back and probably could have been able to settle down and relax for the rest of his time. But he decided to come back and play football, and playing it great. Ready for the kickoff with 5:08, and it's Pittsburgh 16, the Bills 7. Don?
Frank, if you can move that big plow, we get that sun back out. Very cold here now in Pittsburgh as Jarrella kicks off deep. The ball is taken by Francis. He's across the 10, across the 20, across the 25, out to the 27, and knocked down there by a wave of black-shirted Pittsburgh Steelers. And so now the Buffalo Bills will go back on offense, 1st and 10. We pause now briefly for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network.
Buffalo Bills ready to go on the offense. And here again, Don.
Open set in the Buffalo backfield. Jim Braxton and O.J. Simpson. Joe Ferguson's the quarterback. His center, Mike Montler. Again, waiting for the snap count. Here it is. The give is to Braxton, running across the 30. Still darting. He's across the 40. In open field. Across midfield and all the way down. He fumbles the ball. And Pittsburgh recovers. Jim Braxton ran all the way down to the Pittsburgh 43-yard line. And as he went down, he fumbled the football, and Jack Ham recovered. So a big play for Buffalo is negated, and the ball turns over to the Steelers.
Tough break for the Buffalo Bills because Braxton has made a great run. And then only to have it lost by the fumble, and Pittsburgh recovering it. Braxton made his own way on that one, too. He didn't have much in the way of interference in front of him. And so that when he fumbled the ball, there was nothing but black shirts around it, and the Steelers came up with it.
A 30-yard run by Franco Harris, but he fumbled the ball, and now Pittsburgh has it 1st and 10 at the Steelers' 42-yard line. Here's Bradshaw looking to throw it, triggers it over the middle, ball caught by Blyer. He's inside the Buffalo 45 and down to the 39-yard line. Bob Blyer with a 19-yard gain, a Pittsburgh 1st down to the Buffalo 39. As the Bills are helplessly inept in trying to stop the passing game of Terry Bradshaw. That was a 19-yard gain.
Bradshaw's eating them alive so far this afternoon, and of course, when they get a break such as they did on that fumble by the Bills, Bradshaw knows what to do with it, just like Bart Starr used to come up with that long bomb so many times on 1st down after a break.
Bradshaw dropping the throw. He's looking deep a lot of time. He triggers it towards the end zone. Out there is Lynn Swan. He makes the catch at the 5-yard line and is knocked down at the 4. A diving reception by Lynn Swan at the 4-yard line, a 35-yard gain.
Robert James, the cornerback, tackled him almost at the same moment as he caught the ball, and they slid for about 4 yards there on the wet turf. And that's where the ball is at the Buffalo Bills 4-yard line. And this crowd is enjoying every moment of it because as the scoreboard now flashes, Super Steelers, their hometown team is really going and putting the show out there for them.
Bradshaw having a spectacular game. Buck Jersey tells us he's 8 for 11 for 130 yards. And he's run well with the ball. Now it is 1st and goal to the Buffalo 4. Bradshaw's rolling out. He's going to run with the ball. Now he stops. He triggers it down the middle. It's incomplete and almost intercepted. Bradshaw with a bad pass. And he's kicking the turf. He's angry at it. Mike Kadish tipped the ball, and it was up for grabs, and there was nothing but Buffalo Bills around him. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line.
Bradshaw should be a little upset with himself because that was not a very wise call, a very wise try. He should have eaten the football, and he knows it because he had no chance of a completion, and that big defensive line of Buffalo almost came up with an interception there, and that would have been a severe blow to them at the 4-yard line.
It is now 2nd down and goal for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills 4-yard line. Bradshaw hands off. Franco Harris. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers go 58 yards in 4 plays following the fumble recovery, and now they've broken the game open. As the Pittsburgh Steelers take a 22-7 lead, they're going to try now for the extra point. Frank?
Franco Harris, second touchdown in the first half, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have indeed started to blow the Bills off the field. 22-7. This point after try by Girella could make it 23-7.
Here is the snap, the set down again. The extra point is blocked. Doug Allen bumped it over the top and blocked the extra point. And so the count holds at 22-7 with 3:09 to play in the first half. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, every time they've gotten the ball now, in the second quarter, they've taken it in for a touchdown.
3 minutes and 9 seconds to go here in this first half at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania this afternoon. Just past the 2 o'clock mark, 3 minutes past, and the sun is going to come out from behind that cloud and warm us up a little bit, Dan. It seems strange.
We need that.
We were in Minnesota yesterday and sitting in a nice, comfortable booth. Here we're wide open, and with the temperature probably in the 40s, we're colder than we ever were up there.
So now we have 3:09 to play in the first half, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have taken a 22-7 lead. Here's Girella. Hits the football long, way into the end zone. Francis fields it. He'll not bring it out. Wallace Francis downs the ball. Look at those big Steelers bearing in on him. More than enough to hit somebody. Lynn Swan with 3 receptions. Good for 60 yards. 1 run, good for 25. He has really been the difference since coming in the second quarter. Great athlete.
Pittsburgh has been something. They went 63 yards in 9 plays. They went 62 yards in 7 plays, and then 58 yards in 4 plays for 3 of their scores.
It is 1st and 10 now for Buffalo at the Bills' 20-yard line. Here's a long pass downfield. The ball is tipped away from Ahmad Rashad on the 48-yard line. Joe Ferguson dropping the throw, trigger the ball on first down to Ahmad Rashad, and Mike Wagner just tipped the ball away.
As you mentioned, following an unsuccessful pass to Rashad down about the Steelers' 20, they would come back with that play again, and that was the same pattern where Rashad was on a fly down the sidelines there, although he was double covered on that particular pass. Ferguson was trying to thread the needle with it, but couldn't quite do it. So we have the ball back at the 20, and it's 2nd and 10 for the Buffalo Bills. Frank Sweeney and Don Trickey from Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
The Bills have to start throwing now. They just did it on first down at 2nd and 10 as they trail 22-7 in the second quarter. Joe Ferguson looks over his offensive set. Wide receivers to either side. He's dropping it. Now he hands off to O.J. Simpson. He breaks across the 30, and O.J. Simpson runs ahead for 11 yards and a first down. They go to the draw play on 2nd and 10, and O.J. runs for 11 on a first down. Jack Lambert knocked him down. Simpson has now run with the ball 8 times. He's gained 33 yards for Buffalo.
And they're trying to cross him up a little bit, try to vary the pattern a little bit. Coming up with the pass play, going back to O.J., and O.J., of course, is the kind of a runner who can go the distance if you give him a little room. So far, the Steelers have been defending him very well.
Buffalo needs to score badly before the first half ends. But they're down 22-7. Joe Ferguson from his 31 gets the snap and drops back to throw. Triggers his pass in the flat to O.J. Simpson. It's overthrown, incomplete. Simpson running an out pattern to the Buffalo 40. Couldn't get to the ball and now bring up 2nd down and 10. Andy Russell was covering on the play, but the pass was nowhere near O.J. Simpson. So now the clock is stopped with 2 minutes and 11 seconds left to play in the first half. And it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Buffalo Bills at their 31. Pittsburgh is in the lead 22-7.
It's amazing the way this ball game has turned around. It looked like the Buffalo Bills were going to play them even Steven, but Pittsburgh has come on strong with just 11 seconds more than 2 minutes remaining. They lead 22-7 in the first half.
Joe Ferguson has his team set down. He'll be throwing. Dropping back. Now he hands off to O.J., and this time Jack Ham is right on top of O.J. and knocks him down for an 8-yard loss. A draw play doesn't work again. Play before that they went to it, and O.J. got 11. This time the Steelers were looking for O.J. all the way. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 16 yards to go for the first down.
And now we've got the 2-minute warning, and with the score, the Pittsburgh Steelers 22 and the Buffalo Bills 7. Now this for Pennzoil.
A lot of us, when we need to lose a few pounds, will go on a crash diet. Trouble is, afterwards, some of us go back to our old eating habits, and pretty soon we gain those pounds back again. Well, dealing with fuel shortages and our cars is a little like that. We're coming to realize crash programs won't work, and we have to give up some old habits for good and develop some new ones. Maintaining your car's engine in top condition, for example, is one habit that can add more miles per gallon to your driving. And one of the best ways to maintain your engine is with Pennzoil motor oil. You see, Pennzoil is refined from 100% pure Pennsylvania-grade crude oil, and its famous additive V7 is blended into every can to help keep your engine running smoothly. So make it a habit. Next time you need to change or add oil, ask for Pennzoil. Remember, when your car is worth caring for, Pennzoil is worth asking for.
At Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, this is Frank Sweeney along with Don Crickey in the first of our 2 games in the NFL playoffs today. Immediately following this game, Lindsey Nelson and Dave Martin will be bringing you the Los Angeles, Washington game from the West Coast. Here it's 22-7 the Steelers.
And the Buffalo Bills have the ball back at their 26-yard line, 3rd down and 16. Joe Ferguson again with a long count. Here's the snap. He's dropping to throw. A big rush against him. A linebacker blitz. He gets the ball away downfield. Ahmad Rashad can't hold on. Ahmad Rashad had his hands on the ball at the Bills' 45-yard line, but it was knocked away as Jack Lambert put the heat on Joe Ferguson with a big rush. And now with 1:54 to play in the first half, the Bills will have to punt.
And Lou Saban has to be the most unhappy man around because he got his team here into the playoffs as a wild card club, hoping, of course, to come up with a great game against Pittsburgh, but it's so far gone all for Pittsburgh. 22-7, and they have to give the ball up now on a punt with 1:54 remaining in the first half.
The winner of this game, and right now, looks to be Pittsburgh, unless the Bills can come back, will go against Oakland for the AFC Championship. Here's a high punt by Bateman. It is fielded back at the 32-yard line. Wagner has the ball there, starts upfield, gets out to the 34-yard line, is knocked down, and here is a penalty marker down at the Pittsburgh 40-yard line. 1:41 left to play now in the first half. The Steelers going back on offense in command of the game at 22-7, right?
I have to wait to see what the call was, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it isn't face mask. That's it. Somebody grabbed onto a face mask down there in the crowd, and it's going to be against the Buffalo Bills. So moving that ball forward from the Pittsburgh 41 now, it'll be up to the 46-yard line of the Steelers. They have a minute and 41 remaining in the first half, and they lead 22-7.
The Buffalo Bills have not been in the playoffs since 1966. And right now they have a big problem. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers on their home field have moved out in front 22-7. Buffalo led earlier 7-3. Gary Bradshaw having a big game at quarterback, hands off to Bob Blyer, turns down the right corner, gets across midfield, spins his way and fights his way down inside the Buffalo 45-yard line. He has a first down. Bob Blyer's all the way down to the 44-yard line, and he has first down yardage for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The clock continues to run. 1:22 to play in the first half. The Steelers with their full complement of timeouts. They have 3 remaining. Rocky Blyer has now run with the ball 4 times. He's gained 26 yards. Of course, he had that long touchdown reception from Terry Bradshaw, Blyer's first touchdown of this season. Bradshaw dropping the throw and first down. A lot of time, triggers it long. A man is open. Lynn Swan, the ball's overthrown, and we might have interference. A penalty marker's down at the Buffalo 28. And Bob James might be guilty of an infraction against Lynn Swan. And apparently that is going to be the call. It'll be 1st and 10 now for Pittsburgh at the point of infraction of Buffalo 28.
I would have been a bit surprised had that call gone the other way and been offensive interference. But it wasn't so ruled, and the ball is now placed down at the 39-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. It'll be first down for the Steelers. 58 seconds to go in the first half.
It is not ruled to be pass interference. It is ruled to be defensive holding, which is a 5-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage and an automatic first down. So the Steelers do get the first down, and they have the ball now 1st and 10 at the Buffalo 39-yard line. John Starworth is in the game. He is wide to the left. Here's a handoff to Franco Harris. He doesn't get much as Walt Patowski grabs him. Bo Cornell comes over the top. Down to the 39-yard line. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and now the Steelers stop the clock with 51 seconds to play in the first half.
In case you joined us late, Buffalo kicked off. They almost broke for the touchdown, but they had to settle for a field goal at 8:51 remaining in the first quarter. They led then 3-0. Then, with 1:26 remaining in the first quarter, Buffalo got on the scoreboard on a 22-yard touchdown pass to Paul Seymour. The point after was good, and the first quarter ended with Buffalo leading 7-3. But then, in the second quarter, it's been all Pittsburgh. They went 63 yards in 9 plays, and a pass to Blyer put them ahead 9-7. The point after was blocked. Then they went 62 yards in 7 plays. 2-yard run by Harris put them ahead 15-7. This time, Torello's point after was good. 16-7 was the score at that point. Then Braxton, after a great run for the Buffalo Bills, fumbled. Pittsburgh recovered and went 58 yards in 4 plays. Franco Harris again scoring, and the point after try was blocked. And that's where we are, 22-7, with 51 seconds remaining here in the first half.
All right, Frank, we're now set to go as Terry Bradshaw comes back over from talking with head coach Chuck Knoll. This is the third year the Pittsburgh Steelers have been in the playoffs. Third straight year. Last year they were beaten badly in an opening round game by the Oakland Raiders, a team they'll probably be facing next week if they maintain this lead through the last 2 quarters. Right now, Pittsburgh has the ball 2nd and 10 at the Buffalo 39-yard line. Bradshaw dropping to throw. Lot of time. Looks downfield. Hits Rocky Blyer. He dives down to the 30, short of a first down. A 9-yard gain on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 1. 35 seconds to go. The clock running. The Steelers are lining without a huddle. Bradshaw down behind the center now. 25 seconds. He drops back to throw on 3rd and 1. Lost it into the end zone. The ball is caught by the tight end at the 5-yard line. He dives down. He's out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Larry Brown caught the ball at the 5 and goes down to the 1. Did not get in, but he gets out of bounds to stop the clock with 18 seconds to play. A 29-yard gain on the play. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are threatening to score again and blow this game wide open. 18 first downs for the Steelers.
And now they are taking a timeout. I was a little surprised they didn't take a timeout before that last play. They got the ball underway, and they have 18 seconds now to make a yard. If they can get in there and get another 6 points on the board, it'd be almost an insurmountable lead that they would take into the dressing room with them at halftime. Steelers have 1 timeout remaining in the first half, and the Bills still have their full complement of 3 remaining. It's a packed house here at Pittsburgh this afternoon. Now the sun is breaking through again. Feels good. We're over here on the sun side, and wasn't thinking that'd be that important to us, but sitting out in the open such as we are here at the Steelers Stadium, it feels real good to your mutual announcers, Don Crickey and I. A reminder, stay tuned that Los Angeles Rams Washington Redskins game follows immediately on the heels of this game. Lindsey Nelson and Dave Martin out there, and then Mutual, who has brought you Notre Dame games all season long and the NFL games on Monday night, will also bring you the Sugar Bowl game from New Orleans with Jack McHouse and Dave Martin on New Year's Eve.
18 seconds left to play. In the first half, the Pittsburgh Steelers first and goal to Buffalo 1. Pittsburgh goes to Franco Harris. Touchdown Steelers. Harris goes in off the left side, standing up. And all of a sudden, it's a 28-7 game. The Steelers going 54 yards in 5 plays.
And they're calling their big guy, Franco Harris, who's gone in for 3 touchdowns here in this first half.
So Pittsburgh will go to the locker room with a 28-7 lead, perhaps 29-7, although Jarrella, who's now attempting the point after, has had 2 blocks already. Here's the snap, the step down, the kick is up and good. He gets a big hand, and it's 29-7. The Steelers in command of the game with 16 seconds to play in the first half.
The Pittsburgh Steelers were rated a 7.5-point favorite prior to the opening kickoff of today's game. No one anticipated this great surge by the Chuck Knoll forces in the second quarter. But there they are on the board. Great big 29 points for the Pittsburgh Steelers and only 7 for the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills out there scrapping. They're going to fight it all the way down to the wire, but it doesn't look good for them now as the Buffalo Bills will go into halftime into the dressing room trailing 29-7 unless something unforeseen happens in the remaining 16 seconds here in this first half.
The Steelers, Frank, have scored 26 points in the second quarter to take the lead here 29-7. The Bills' touchdown came in the first quarter on the 22-yard touchdown pass, but now the Steelers have command. Here's Duello's kickoff. It's high. Carries down to the 5-yard line, taken there by Wallace Francis. 10, 15, 20. Puts his head down and comes across the 25, out to the 27. And with 11 seconds to go in the first half, the Buffalo Bills send their offensive unit out. Steve Burnett, in his third year from Rhode Island, was down to make the hit for Pittsburgh on kickoff coverage. Don Crickey with Frank Sweeney here at Three Rivers Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Mutual Broadcasting System President Ed Little and everyone at Mutual, delighted you can join us for National Football League playoff action. As the Pittsburgh Steelers, flexing their muscles here before the home crowd, have taken complete command of the game, leading 29-7. 11 seconds to play in the first half. Buffalo and White moving right to left. Have the ball at the Bills' 27-yard line. Joe Ferguson takes the snap, dropping back to throw. He's rolling out. He's going to run with the ball. Now he puts it up on the run and completes it to Ahmad Rashad for a first down at the 48-yard line with 2 seconds left. All the way down to the 48-yard line of Pittsburgh, and Rashad got out of bounds, stopping the clock. But the Bills will have time for one more play. Pittsburgh will, of course, be in that prevent defense, 5 defensive backs, and they'll be backpedaling as soon as the ball snaps. That was a 25-yard gain on that last play. Frank Sweeney?
The Pittsburgh Steelers have been awesome, to say the least, here in the second quarter. Franco Harris is the big man for them so far, having scored 3 of their touchdowns. And the Braxton fumble with 4:48 remaining in this first period has been a turnaround point, I think, as far as this game was concerned, because at that point, the Steelers were leading 16-7. Had Braxton been able to keep onto that ball, and the Bills gone on, or the score could have made it a 16-14 game. But of course, that's conjecture. The scoreboard shows that things didn't go that way. The Pittsburgh Steelers have maintained dominance here in the second quarter.
It's amazing how one play can really turn a game completely around. That fumble after Jim Braxton ran 30 yards and Buffalo was on the move. The Steelers took it in. From that point on, they have completely dominated this game. Offensive plays, Pittsburgh has run off 40-22 for Buffalo. We're ready now for the final play of the first half. 2 seconds to go. Buffalo has the ball at the Pittsburgh 48-yard line, first down. Joe Ferguson will be throwing the home run ball. No time to set up a field goal. Ferguson pedaling back. Swings it out to O.J. Simpson. Simpson across inside the 40. Spinning and weaving down to the 38-yard line. And the first half ends with the score. The Pittsburgh Steelers 29. The Buffalo Bills 7.
Pittsburgh will be kicking off. They lead 29-7. It was a great pleasure having Jim Kensel here at halftime. We hope you enjoyed the conversation with him, folks. And Don Crickey has returned. He's ready to go back to work. I'm going to enjoy a little bit of this killing while you do it.
All right, Frank, we're set to go. The Steelers and Roy Girardi will be kicking off left to right. They lead the game 29-7, opening the third quarter. Wallace Francis is back deep for Buffalo. He hits the ball, a high spinner. It's going to carry short. Francis feels it on the run, almost loses the ball. Now gets out to the 30, out to the 31. Still on his feet. Finally, he's knocked down to the 32. So there will be first and 10 for the Buffalo Bills as Wallace Francis returns the ball out to the Buffalo 32-yard line. I had a chance to talk with one of the Bills' receiver coaches, pass offense coach Bob Shaw, former Chicago Bear. And he said, you know what we got to do? Start in the third quarter. Put the ball in the air, and we're going to mix it with O.J.
Of course, there's another coach with the Buffalo Bills, an old friend of yours and mine, Johnny Ray.
John Ray, former defensive coach at Notre Dame. Now Joe Ferguson has O.J. Simpson as the deep man of the eye, set the backfield with a first down and 10. Ferguson dropping the throw, looks in the flat, puts it out. The ball is caught for a first down by his tight end, Paul Seymour. All the way out the 45-yard line. A gain of some 13 yards on the play. The tackle was made by linebacker Jack Ham. But the tight end Paul Seymour, you recall, earlier in the game, caught the 22-yard touchdown pass from Joe Ferguson. That gave the Bills a 7-3 lead at that point. Now, Buffalo will have to go to the throwing game as they trail 29-7, opening the third quarter in this AFC playoff game. Ferguson sends J.D. Hill wide to the left. Wide to the right, Ahmad Rashad. Ferguson takes it on a quarterback keep. Straight ahead run on first down, and he gets ahead for maybe 3 yards. He checked off at the line of scrimmage, saw something in the Pittsburgh defense he didn't like. As far as attacking with the plays called in the huddle, so he went to an audible, called for his own number, and took it straight ahead. Joe Green knocked him down. As a gain of 3 yards in the play, it'll be second down and 7.
Buffalo Bills have got to generate something here in this third quarter and really get back on the board if at all they can. They trail by 22 points, so that's a lot of points to put up.
Pittsburgh with a spectacular second quarter, scoring 26 points. Now the Bills with the ball. Something on the Pittsburgh defense he didn't like. As far as attacking with the plays called in the huddle, so he went to an audible, called for his own number, and took it straight ahead. Joe Green knocked him down. As a gain of 3 yards in the play, it'll be second down and 7.
Buffalo Bills have got to generate something here in this third quarter and really get back on the board if at all they can. They trail by 22 points, so that's a lot of points to put up.
Pittsburgh with a spectacular second quarter, scoring 26 points. Now the Bills with the ball, second and 7 at their 48-yard line. Here is a give to O.J. Simpson. He darts ahead for only a couple of yards as the Steelers close down on him and knock him down. O.J. got out close to midfield. He was knocked down by outside linebacker Jack Ham, who wears number 59. Now in his 4th year from Penn State and an all-pro quality linebacker. The Bills with white jerseys, dark blue numerals with the red trim, white helmets and blue pants. The Steelers, black jerseys, black helmets with the yellow trim, the bright yellow pants with a black stripe down the side. Digging in on defense, the number 1 defense in the American Football Conference. Buffalo breaks the huddle. It is third down and 6 for the Bills at their 49-yard line. Joe Ferguson looks to be throwing. Again, he goes with a long count, fumbles the snap, picks it up, throws the ball downfield. It's incomplete. Ahmad Rashad was the intended receiver. He is protesting he was interfered with, but there's no flag. And it certainly looked like he might have been.
It certainly did indeed look like he might have been interfered with because the defender was all over him, but the official is much closer to the play than we are, sitting up here about 50 feet in the air in the stand. It's not ruled that way, so Buffalo will have to give the ball up on the way of the punt. Trailing 29-7. Nothing has been going right for Buffalo since Jim Braxton fumbled there in the second quarter.
Here is a snap now. The punt by Marv Bateman is short. It's going to hit inside the 20. Takes the Buffalo roll. It is picked up at the 8-yard line. Wagner's going to return it there. He gets out to the 11 and is knocked down. A 43-yard punt by Bateman. He had the last 15 yards on the roll. And so the Pittsburgh Steelers, who scored 26 points in the second quarter to break this game wide open, now send their offense out for the first time in the third quarter, leading the game 29-7.
And it's been all Pittsburgh in the second quarter, and the Steelers now find themselves deep in their own territory. They'll have to move that ball out, but they haven't seemed to have had any problem in moving that ball out. But as Jim Kessel said, in the NFL, the game can turn around. He wouldn't be surprised to see the Bills get back on the scoreboard.
Well, the Steelers are starting out now deep in their own area. First and 10 at their 11-yard line. Bradshaw, who is absolutely superb at quarterback in the first half, hands off to Franco Harris, who scored 3 touchdowns. He gets nowhere. Harris tries to hit off the right side. The Bills knock him down quickly. Good defensive play off the bottom of the pile is defensive end Walt Patulski and defensive tackle Mike Kadish. The Bills going with a 3-man down lineman set in the front and 4 linebackers. It will now be second down and 9 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The ball at the Pittsburgh Steelers 12-yard line. Wide to the right is Lynn Swan with a first half he played. Didn't come into the second quarter on offense, and he was spectacular. Caught 3 passes for 60 yards, ran for 25 yards, and now he gets the ball again on an end around. He's almost knocked down. He gets free. Now he gets free and is hit at the 10-yard line and dropped back at the 8. Lynn Swan was almost caught by defensive end Earl Edwards at the 2-yard line. He got free, got back to the 10 where he was hit with a driving tackle and knocked down. Bo Cornell, an outside linebacker, got him. There was a loss of a yard on the play in the end result, and now will be third down and 10.
To quote an old Babe Ruth saying, you may fool me once, but you're not going to fool me a second time. They tried that end around earlier in the game, and it worked very well for them. This time, Buffalo was ready for it. They almost actually threw it back on the goal line.
Now Swan goes out wide to the left, wide to the right. Ron Shanklin. Bradshaw looking to throw on 3rd and 10, standing at the goal line, triggers it up the middle, incomplete. Going to Bob Lyer, swinging out of the backfield. His pass was underthrown. It is incomplete, and now the Pittsburgh Steelers will have to punt to Buffalo.
Well, Buffalo's come out to play in the second half. They may have been deflated when they went into the dressing room, but they've come to play in the second half, and so far have been keeping the Pittsburgh Steelers out of their own end. They can come up with good field position following this punt.
Bobby Walden is standing in his end zone for Pittsburgh. The Buffalo Bills could get very good field position as their deep man, Don Walker, is standing at midfield. Here is Walden's punt. It's end over end, fairly deep. Walker fields at the Pittsburgh 45. Looks to turn upfield. Now gets a little room to run. Gets inside the 40 down to the 38. And a wave of black jerseys standing up and stop his forward progress. And so Buffalo now takes over the ball for a second time as the Steeler is down on the field. But is apparently all right as he's getting up.
And with the score, the Steelers 29, the Buffalo Bills 7. There's a timeout on the field. Now this for Fram windshield wipers.
You're driving your car. It starts raining. It's hard to see, so you switch on your wipers. But instead of making things better, they make them worse. You make a mental note to change them next time you get a chance. Then you remember you made the same note last time it rained. You turn off the highway onto a street you know. At the same time, something you don't know. A small boy is getting on his bicycle. He doesn't care if it's raining. He's wearing his new yellow slicker. He wobbles out 50 feet in front of you. You see something yellow. You turn the wheel and jam on your brakes. The car skids. You hit a rose bush on somebody's front lawn. You were lucky. The kid was even luckier this time. But you may not be next time. Remember, if you can't see, you can't stop. A message delivered in the interest of your kids and everybody else's kids by the makers of Fram windshield wipers.
Well, the sun is shining, and Don Trickey has just given me the order that I got to keep that sunshine out the rest of the afternoon. I'll do my best, Don. You take care of the play-by-play.
All right, we got the sun shining now, but not on Buffalo as they trail 29-7. The Bills have the ball, 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 39-yard line. We are early in the third quarter. Here's a handoff to O.J. Simpson. He breaks inside the 35-yard line and down close to the 33. O.J. ripping off a run of about 8 yards. Mike Wagner made the tackle. It's just amazing to watch Simpson run with a football. You're sure he's hitting down behind the line of scrimmage like on that play, and all of a sudden he's ahead for 8 yards. The ball is advanced down close to the 32-yard line as the Pittsburgh Steelers break their defensive huddle and the Bills come out on offense moving right to left. They have open field to the right. Joe Ferguson is the quarterback. Wide to the left is Ahmad Rashad. J.D. Hill, the normal wide receiver on the right side, is now tight there. Here's a fake, a handoff to O.J. Simpson trying to turn wide. He turns upfield, got maybe only a yard. Steelers were there to hit him hard. Dwight White, number 78, was the first man to get it. And also on the play for Pittsburgh was defensive cornerback Mel Blunt.
The Lazy Boy Chair Company will recognize the most outstanding defensive and the most outstanding offensive player of today's game by awarding them a Lazy Boy reclining chair. Pat Livingston of the Pittsburgh Press, Larry Fulcher of the Buffalo Evening News, and Larry Middlemass of the Detroit News are our judges for today.
The game continues at the beginning of side 3.
Frank, we have a very spirited crowd here at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. A tremendous following here. The Buffalo Bills, of course, with a big contingent down from Buffalo, which is not that far away, about 120 miles away to the north. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills ready to tee it up and go after it. The Bills will be kicking off to start the game as the Pittsburgh receiving unit is now out there. The Bills and the Steelers, as I believe you were mentioning, Frank, have met twice before. Back in 1970, Pittsburgh won 23-10. And then back in 1972, the Steelers won 38-21. The Buffalo team is sky high. It's a young football team, tremendous explosion on offense with players like O.J. Simpson, Joe Ferguson, J.D. Hill, Ahmad Rashad. What they want to do is get some points up early in fourth.
If the Bills could get a score here, it could give them a lift, perhaps, and get them charging back, try to get back to the, at least to try and go ahead if possible. They're a long way down now, and they have a 3rd and 3 coming up at the Pittsburgh 32-yard line. Joe Ferguson, long count all day, goes to Braxton, his big fullback, and he rockets down straight ahead to the 25-yard line. We were talking earlier, the play that really turned this game around completely in favor of Pittsburgh was in the second quarter. The Steelers were leading at that point 16-7. Braxton took off on a run of 30 yards and was really moving downfield, lost the football. Pittsburgh got it, went the other way to score, and that busted it open. That seems to have been the turning point, and Jim Kenson agrees with us, Don, that one play that's made a great big difference so far. So now it is 1st and 10 for Buffalo, just outside the Pittsburgh 25-yard line. Joe Ferguson, the quarterback. With a long count, gets the snap. He's taking, he's dropping back to throw a big rush. Out the ball in the end zone. It's going to be overthrown, and Ahmad Rashad can't get to it. Ferguson saw the big rush and triggered a timing pattern to the corner of the end zone intended for Ahmad Rashad, but there was too much on the ball. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 now for Buffalo, the Pittsburgh 25. Ahmad Rashad was looking one way, then the other way, and he wanted to get that reception as best he could. But, of course, the ball was out of bounds. Even if they caught it, it wouldn't have mattered. But they still have 2nd down, and just at the 26-yard line. The Bills have an opportunity to get on the board. And, boy, do they want to get on the board right now. It is now 2nd down and 10 for Buffalo at the 25-yard. Now they're not spotting the ball at the 26. They lost a half a yard in the touchdown. 2nd and 10 for Buffalo. The Bills down close, trying to get points up. 8 minutes and 34 seconds to play in the third quarter. Pittsburgh 29, Buffalo 7. Joe Ferguson again with a long count, dropping to throw. He stands in the pocket. A lot of time, puts it out. The ball is caught for a 1st down by Ahmad Rashad on the far side of the field. He gets the ball down at the 14-yard line. Good for a 1st down. Rashad knew just where he had to go. J.T. Thomas was covering. He makes the reception for a 1st down. So it is now 1st and 10 for the Bills at the 14-yard line of Pittsburgh. Frank? Good pattern that time as the receiver saw that he had to come back. He was being covered very well, but he came back and got the pass reception, and now Buffalo has the ball inside the Steelers' 15-yard line, and this is an important series of downs coming up right now. The Bills break the huddle. 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 14-yard line. The Bills moving right to left, have open field to left. O.J. Simpson and Jim Braxton open set in the backfield. Here's a give to Simpson, dancing. He's inside the 10-yard line. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line before he's upended. And very close to a late hit by Glenn Edwards. It came in over the top as Simpson dances downfield for 9 yards and a 1st down carry. They're going to spot the ball just inside the 7-yard line. But the clock continues to run. 7:23 to play in the third quarter. Buffalo challenging now. The officials do a great job in the NFL, but of course they can't see everything. They can't be omnipresent, but it sure did look like Glenn Edwards came in with a late hit on that one. Ahmad Rashad wide to the right. J.D. Hill is wide to the left. High set in the backfield. Braxton up back. Simpson set back. A long count by Joe Ferguson. Here is the fake. They give to Braxton, and the fake 245-pound fullback from West Virginia burrows his way inside the 5-yard line. Put his head down and pushed Jack Lambert and the rest of the linebacking crew that came in to hit him right back inside the 5. So there was a good gain on the play. Very close to yet another Buffalo 1st down. They might measure. And they award the Bills a 1st down at the Pittsburgh 4-yard line. The clock continues to run. 6:45 to play, and time is already attractive for Buffalo, even though in the third quarter they've got a long way to come back.
And they aren't running plays very quickly.
No, they're not. And I'm surprised that first half took about an hour and a half to play.
Joe Ferguson down behind his center. First and goal at the 4-yard line for Buffalo. Ferguson gets the snap, goes to Simpson. He darts inside, got maybe a yard, well short of the goal line. He's down to about the 2-yard line.
Simpson gives it everything he possibly can. If there's an opening there on the slimest margin, he'll go through it. That time, however, there's just too many bodies, including his own Buffalo Bills, in front of him, for him to pick up any great yardage. But he has the ball just shy of the 3-yard line, and the Bills are in possession. They've got to keep on moving if they can. They've got second down coming up, and about 3 yards to go on the pay dirt. They trail 29-7.
5:50 to play in the third quarter. L.C. Greenwell is the first man to hit Simpson on the last play. It is now second down and goal for the Buffalo Bills at the 3-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Joe Ferguson gets the snap. He's dropping the throw. Timing's had, and he puts the ball up in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. No, they rule it incomplete. Ahmad Rashad had the ball in his hands and fouled as he went out of bounds, caught it outside, but it was ruled he did not have possession inbounds, so it's an incomplete pass.
And that hurts. When you're losing, things like that seem to happen quite frequently. Rashad had it, but he did not have full control of it, as you mentioned. Out of bounds, it's really an incomplete forward pass. They still have 2 downs in which to do something. This third quarter has moved along a lot faster than any of the preceding 2 quarters. 5:38 is all that remains in this third quarter. Number 81 is just come on, Bob Chandler, wide receiver for Buffalo.
Now it is third and goal for the Buffalo Bills at the 3-yard line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers go into a 7-man defensive front. Their goal line defense. Here is a fake. Ferguson's rolling out, throws to Simpson. Touchdown. O.J. Simpson catches the ball for a Buffalo touchdown, swinging out of the backfield. As the Bills go 39 yards in 10 plays, and it's now a 29-13 ball game. It is not over yet. Buffalo has dominated the third quarter.
And that was the same type of a pass pattern, only Rashad dropped it. O.J. held on to it, and a 5:34 to go. It's 29-13. It could be 29-14 in just a matter of moments, as the point after try will be coming up.
John Lightpole is in to try the point after. He is a basic straight-ahead style kicker, not the soccer style. Here's the snap. It's good. The extra point is drilled high and over the outfield fence for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and good for an extra point. Now there's a timeout with a score. The Pittsburgh Steelers 29, the Buffalo Bills 14.
Clock shows 5 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in the third quarter. It's 29-14 the Steelers, and the Buffalo Bills are ready to kick off. And Doug on it down that crowd slipped up there and got in front of the sun on
there
it
is again. So now it is a long kickoff, a high one, but it does end up carrying short. It's picked up by Mel Blount. He gets across the 20, works his way out close to the 30, is knocked down at the 29-yard line. And the Pittsburgh Steelers go on offense for the first time here in the second down of the third quarter. As they lead the game 29-14. Pittsburgh scoring 26 points in the second quarter to break this game open, and the Steelers led at the half 29-7. It is now a 29-14 game. Pittsburgh breaks the huddle. Wide to the left is John Starwood, the rookie wide receiver out of Alabama A&M. He's a great one potentially. Wide to the right is Ron Shanklin. It's amazing the wide receiver depth the Steelers team has. Here's a give to Blyer. He is knocked down for a gain of maybe 1 yard. Ron Blyer was hit down at the 31-yard line as the former Notre Dame captain tried to angle off left to right. And the first man to hit him was linebacker Doug Allen, a rookie from Penn State.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, unless the Buffalo Bills are able to turn this game around, next Sunday they'll be playing at Oakland Coliseum, and it should be the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Oakland Raiders. But that remains to be seen.
4:50 to play in the third quarter. The clock is running. The Pittsburgh Steelers moving left to right. Here is the fake. Bradshaw's dropping the throw. He's looking deep, fires downfield. The ball is tipped and almost intercepted. The tight end Larry Brown got his hands on the ball. The 45-yard line of Buffalo went high in the air. And a diving interception was almost made by Rex Kern. He lost it when he hit the turf.
Now, had Buffalo been able to come up with that one, let's think about that for a moment. They would have had pretty good field position at their own 40. And if they could have gone ahead and driven for another touchdown, we would have had a 29-21 game. Coming down to the fourth quarter, it could have made things most interesting, to say the least.
Well, we've got a long way to go. 4:44 left to play in the third quarter. Now Pittsburgh breaks the huddle with a long yardage down coming up, 3rd and 10. Wide to the right is Ron Shanklin. Wide to the left is John Stallworth. Bradshaw dropping straight back to throw. Standing at his 20. He digs in. Now he's going to run with the ball. He'll get another first down. Nobody near him. They hit Bradshaw hard. And Bradshaw is knocked down at the 46-yard line, but he again runs for 16 yards and a first down for the Steelers.
Bradshaw feeling pretty secure of himself with that 29-14 lead. Didn't do like most quarterbacks might do in a situation like that. Run for the sideline and out of bounds. Nope, he went just like a halfback right down the middle, and he pitched a hard hit but dropped him there at the 47-yard line. So the Bills go on the defense again, and the Steelers, with 4:07 remaining in the third quarter, have their 29-14 lead and a first down.
3:59 left to go in the third quarter. Pittsburgh breaks the huddle. 1st and 10 at their 47. Here is a give to Rocky Bleier. Turning the right corner, he is caught from behind and knocked down for a substantial loss. The Bills defending the play nicely. Walt Patelski came up, made the hit, along with linebackers Doug Allen and Jim Chiunsky. And so there's a loss on the play of almost 5 yards. We'll make a 2nd down and 15 for the Steelers. The ball is the Pittsburgh 43-yard line.
Doug Allen did some fantastic work on that particular play. He was out of the play. The runner's gone by him. He was spun around by a defender. He turned around, slowed him up and up for the Huddersfield to come up and put the clincher on him.
The temperature in the low 30s here in Pittsburgh. The sun behind the clouds now, making it much chillier. Wind is not a factor, although it's gusting at times during the game. It's not affecting the passing game at all. Here's a handoff to Bleier. He fumbles the football and picks it up. Tries to turn the corner, and the Bills knock him down on 2nd and 15 after a gain of 4 yards. Bleier took a handoff, was trying to run the power sweep to the left side. Started to turn the corner, lost the football, bounced right back up to him, and he got ahead for 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and just over 10 for the first down for Pittsburgh.
And we have the clock continuing to roll off those precious seconds down to 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. And the time is working against the Buffalo Bills because the Steelers, maintaining possession of it and maintaining the 29-14 lead, are keeping things in their own discretion.
3rd down and just over 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The ball at their 47. Bradshaw drops the throw. He almost loses his footing. Now swings it out too long for Franco Harris. And had he caught it, he would have been drilled by linebacker Dave Watson, who was coming in to put the hit on him, and would have been knocked down at the line of scrimmage. So Franco Harris wisely let the ball go overhead. And that brings up 4th down, and now the Pittsburgh Steelers will have to punt, and the Bills will get it back, trailing 29-14 with 2:19 to play in the third quarter.
200 deep back there for the Buffalo Bills. One about the 25, one around the 15-yard line, waiting for this punt from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Here's the punt by Walden. Bobby Walden hits it deep. The ball is fielded back at the 4-yard line, and Walker's going to return it. He caught the ball, instead of letting it go in the end zone. He gets out to the 8. And Buffalo goes on offense there. A 49-yard punt by Bobby Walden.
And now with the score, the Steelers 29, the Bills 14. There's a timeout on the field. Now there's for Pennzoil.
You know how it is when you first get a new car, how careful you are not to get even the slightest scratch on it, and how there's always someone around telling you to hurry up and get a little scratch or dent so you can stop worrying. Well, the truth is you do stop worrying so much about your car's exterior as time goes by. But what about your car's interior, its engine? Conscientious care and maintenance pay off in added years of trouble-free driving and dollars saved in engine repairs. And when you talk about conscientious care and maintenance, you're talking about Pennzoil motor oil. For over 85 years now, Pennzoil has been the quality motor oil recommended by new car dealers, garages, and service stations all over the country. Pennzoil is refined from 100% pure Pennsylvania-grade crude oil, and its famous additive Z7 is all the oil additive your engine needs. So remember to ask for Pennzoil motor oil. It's worth asking for.
At Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Frank Sweeney, along with Don Cookie, as usual, is sending your way this AFC playoff game between the Bills and the Steelers. 2:07 remaining in the third quarter. The Steelers 29, the Bills 14. Don?
Now the Bills have the ball 1st and 10 at their 8-yard line. Joe Ferguson, the quarterback, has to get his team back in the game. They'll have to be throwing. On first down, he drops back. Standing at the 2-yard line, he puts it up the middle and completes it to his tight end. He loses the ball. It'll be ruled incomplete. Paul Seymour had the ball, was hit and lost as he went down. Now we pause briefly for station identification. This is Mutual, your news and sports radio network. Don Quickie with Frank Sweeney at Three Rivers Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills fighting it out to see who goes against the Oakland Raiders next Sunday in Oakland for the American Football Conference Championship. Right now, the Steelers are in the lead 29-14. They scored 26 points in the second quarter to take command of the game. Buffalo scored the only touchdown of the third quarter. Ferguson dropping back. He's got time. Now he's got to hurry. Runs out of the pocket. He's going to run with the ball. Now puts it up on the run. Braxton is going for the ball, and he can't quite get to it. Fullback Jim Braxton just can't make it at the 38-yard line of Pittsburgh. Just off his fingertips as Ferguson really unloaded one on the run.
Unfortunately for Buffalo, that was number 34 instead of number 32. Number 32 might have been able to run under that ball. Braxton gave it every effort he could, but it was just a little bit beyond him. And carrying that much deep down there, that's really toughened down the field.
Now it is third down and 10, a very, very important play because if the Bills do not convert for the first down here, they'll have to punt, and the Steelers will get an excellent field position. The line of scrimmage, the 8-yard line, so the Buffalo punter could be hitting it from his own end zone. Buffalo is huddling in the end zone. Now the Bills break the huddle. Wide to the left is J.D. Hill. Wide to the right, Ahmad Rashad and Bob Chandler. They pulled the tight end. They're going with 3 wide receivers. Third down and 10 for Buffalo at the Bills' 8-yard line. Joe Green right over the nose of the center, Mike Montler. Here's the snap. Ferguson drops back. He's got time. Puts it up. The ball is off the fingertips of Ahmad Rashad, incomplete.
And so, as you mentioned, the Buffalo Bills will have to give it up. The punter will be standing in the end zone. And the Steelers, who have everything going their way, should come up with excellent field position again. And one more time, the crowd gives a standing ovation to that Pittsburgh defensive unit. That's well they should. They've done a great job today.
Yes, they have. The Pittsburgh defense, as we were mentioning earlier, Frank, number 1 in the American Football Conference. And now Lynn Swan is standing back at the 45-yard line of Buffalo. Punter Marv Bateman standing in his own end zone. Here's the snap. He hits it from the goal line. A long, high spiral, a well-punted ball. Swan takes it to the Pittsburgh 45. He's to the 50. Turns upfield. He fumbles the ball. Who's got it? Looks like the Pittsburgh Steelers recover. Lynn Swan hit hard and fumbled the ball. It was free at the Buffalo 45. And a Pittsburgh Steeler fell on the ball. The last man off the bottom of the pile is Dave Revis and also Reggie Garrett. They were both down on the ball.
It just goes to prove that when things are going against you, they really go against you. The fumble was made. Bill had a shot at that recovery, but he couldn't come up with it. Pittsburgh did, and here they move from the 46 of Buffalo.
Harry Bradshaw brings his team out of the huddle. Here is a handoff to Franco Harris. Breaks it into the open, comes inside the 35 and down to the 32-yard line of Buffalo for a first down. Before he was finally knocked down on the play by safety Rex Kern and middle linebacker Jim Chayovsky.
Forgive me a facetious moment, but Franco Harris is playing out there today like he wants to get out of this stadium and out the warm climate out there in Oakland next weekend.
That'll be rough out there. Right now, the Steelers are driving, and they're in the lead, 29-14. Pittsburgh has the ball at the Buffalo 32-yard line. Bradshaw gives out Franco Harris, runs headlong into Mike Kadish, who knocks him down after a gain of 2 yards. He advances the ball to the Buffalo 30. It is second down and 8 now for Pittsburgh. Franco Harris with a straight ahead run as Harris and Kadish both help each other off the ground.
Don't forget that immediately following this game, we'll go out to Los Angeles, where Lindsey Nelson and Dave Martin are waiting to bring you the Los Angeles-Washington game. And then on New Year's Eve, Jack Brickhouse and Dave Martin will be in New Orleans to bring you the Sugar Bowl game right here on Mutual.
Franco Harris has rushed 20 times for 72 yards in this game. He scored 3 touchdowns. Here is a handoff to Harris. He won't get anything here. In fact, he'll lose yards. And here's a penalty marker down. A penalty marker goes down as Franco Harris is knocked down for a loss. Patulski and Kadish hit him, knocked him down outside the Buffalo 30. The penalty will go against the Buffalo Bills. Penalty is signaled against the Buffalo Bills as they make the big play on 2nd and 8. They threw Franco Harris down for a 4-yard loss, but now the ball is being advanced 5 yards, and we're waiting for the official signal. Face mask grabbing. First down, Pittsburgh. So the Steelers, beneficiaries of a penalty against Buffalo. It is 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh at the 25-yard line. Here is a fake, a handoff to Franco Harris, and he is knocked down for a loss on the play by Walt Patowski. Walt Patowski threw aside his blocker and knocked down Franco Harris for a loss on the play of about 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down at 12. The ball is at the 27-yard line, and there is the gun ending the third quarter.
And with the end of the third quarter, the score, the Pittsburgh Steelers 29, the Buffalo Bills 14. Now this for Econocar.
In most American cities, when you want to rent a car, you can choose from 15 or 20 companies. You can rent from 3 or 4 names you know and pay their big high rates, or you can rent from somebody you've never heard of, pay low local rates, and take your chances on the kind of service you'll get. Now, we'd like to give you our names and tell you why we think we're the best choice you can make. We're Econocar, the car renting service of Westinghouse. So we operate like a big company. In over 300 offices, Econocar rents shiny, well-conditioned Fords just like hers. But because we don't have their expensive locations and fancy offices to pay for, we rent our cars for a lot less, and we'll tell you exactly how much less when you call us. Chances are our rates will be right down there with the local companies. So instead of calling those 15 or 20 companies, why not just call us and get big company treatment at local company rates? Econocar, a nationwide service of Westinghouse.
For reservations anywhere in the country, call Econocar, toll free at 800-874-5000.
Land travel arrangements for Mutual Radio Sports made through Econocar Rental System, a service of Westinghouse. Only one score in that third quarter, and it was made by the Buffalo Bills on a touchdown pass to O.J. Simpson. In the third quarter, we have cumulative statistics now. Pittsburgh has rolled up 328 yards rushing and passing to 199 for Buffalo. Pittsburgh has 23 first downs to only 11 for Buffalo. 10 out of 17 is Bradshaw, 8 out of 20 is Ferguson. No interceptions so far, one fumble loss. That's big one by Braxton. Buffalo penalized 15 yards and Pittsburgh just 5. Don?
All right, Frank, we're set to go now. Opening play of the fourth quarter. 2nd down and 11 for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo 27-yard line. The Steelers moving right to left as the temperature is now dropping. The wind's picking up here in Pittsburgh. Bradshaw drops the throw, triggers it downfield to Ron Shanklin, completed the 10. First down, Steelers. Perfect execution as Terry Bradshaw took a 2-step drop, triggered the ball, and Ron Shanklin ran right into it and caught it. Brett Kern and Bob James made the hit down at the 11-yard line of the Bills, and so it's 1st and 10 there for Pittsburgh. A 15-yard gain on the play. 14 and a half minutes to play in the fourth quarter in the ball game. Barring an overtime. Here at Pittsburgh, the Steelers with the lead and the ball. Here is a pitch back. Rocky Blyer runs with the ball inside the 10 and down to about the 8. Blyer slid ahead down to the 6, and they moved the ball back to the 8-yard line. Jim Chiomsky came in low, submarine the block, and got an arm on Rocky Blyer ankle high to knock him down. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the ball inside the Buffalo Bills 10-yard line. The clock is running. 13 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. The Steelers with 26 points in the second quarter. Moved out in front of the half 49-7. They've not scored in the second half. It's 29-14 now, Pittsburgh. Here's a handoff. Franco Harris is down to the 5 and knocked down a straight-ahead run. Straight-ahead power run by Franco Harris. Jim Chiomsky was the first man to hit him. Leading the blocks for the Pittsburgh Steelers, center Ray Mansfield, guards Jim Clack and Jerry Mullen.
Franco Harris having one of his finest afternoons. 3 touchdowns so far, and on the board they show that Blyer has picked up 28 yards in 8 attempts, averaging 3.5. He's had 3 receptions for a total of 54 yards.
So now it is third down and about 4 for the first down. Third down and 5 for the touchdown. Here is a handoff to Franco Harris. Turning upfield, he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Walt Patowski hit him from the side and knocked him down as he came by. So Franco Harris is stopped short of a first down. And now we have 4th and goal. 4th and 4 from the 5-yard line of Buffalo, and the field goal unit of the Steelers comes out.
Buffalo has played moments that have been fantastic this afternoon, but then they've had so many things go against them. And try to get back in this game is rust. And now Girella has a chance to put the Pittsburgh Steelers out in a 32-14 lead if he's successful on his field goal try from the 13.
So it'll be a 23-yard field goal. Girella hits the ball long and deep. It looks like he's got it. It's good. Roy Girella powers it through. And the Pittsburgh Steelers now have a commanding 32-14 lead.
There's a timeout now with that score. The Steelers 32, the Bills 14. Now, this word. Well, Donald, I think that sun has disappeared for the rest of the afternoon. We're going to be in the shade here. And there's a young man standing around here with a blanket that I was just going to take and put around my shoulders, but he's decided to use it himself. So we'll suffer from mutual in the course of bringing everybody this playoff game from Pittsburgh this afternoon.
That young man was chivalrous until the sun went down.
That's the way it goes. It's 32-14. The Steelers in the lead on a chilly afternoon here in Pittsburgh, but on this kind of a December day, you expect it to be a little chilly in the Pittsburgh area. And we didn't anticipate being out in the open, however. We thought that we'd be in a nice, warm booth. So now we know how the fans feel when they come to these games and have to sit out in the weather. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be kicking off with 12 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the ball game. They lead 32-14.
This is Don Cricky with Frank Sweeney. Back at Three River Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Steelers getting their first points of the second half. A 23-yard field goal by Roy Girella. And they now lead the game 32-14. Girella kicks off. Kicks a soccer-style kick low and short. Bo Cornell touched the ball. It is picked up at the 14 by Wallace Francis. He starts up, gets across the 20, still on his feet, spins around and thrown down to the 25. And there the Bills will go on offense first and 10. They've got to come out putting that ball up as they trail 32-14 with 12:09 to play. Down to make the hit on the kickoff coverage was Ed Bradley, a third-year linebacker from Wake Forest.
Francis must have been touched or hit by about 7 different Steelers on that particular run back. He was strapping. He wanted to get some yardage downfield, but the best he could do was there at the 25-yard line. So here the Bills, and here again is Don Cricky.
For the second straight year, the Buffalo Bills led the National Football League in attendance this year. They had 5 80,000 attendance sellouts of their 7 home games. The other 2 were over 75,000. Dropping back to throw is Joe Ferguson, puts it up. J.D. Hill has the ball for a first down as he gets all the way out to the 45-yard line. A 20-yard gain on the play. J.D. Hill making the reception for Buffalo. His third reception for 46 yards now. The Bills working fast. They have 3 wide receivers in the game. Jim Braxton comes out at fullback. The clock is running. 11:40 to play in the game. Bob Chandler comes wide to the right. Ahmad Rashad goes wide to the left. J.D. Hill comes out wide to the right with Chandler. All 3 aligning. The lone setback is O.J. Simpson. Pittsburgh digs into a 5-man front. The linebackers could be coming. Here is a drop back by Ferguson. He swings it out to O.J. Simpson. He got the ball. He's across midfield, inside the 45, inside the 40, and all the way down to the 29-yard line. Beautiful run by O.J. Simpson after he got the ball. Jack Ham finally knocked him down after a 25-yard gain.
Beautiful to watch. He accelerated there at the Steelers' 45-yard line and went 20 yards in about 2.5 seconds.
Boy, he's something to watch. He is absolutely fantastic to watch. O.J. Simpson, what a bat. He really is amazing, isn't he?
He has scored 1 touchdown, but he has been scintillating when they give him the ball.
Joe Ferguson with the long count has wide receivers set to either side. 3 of them are out there. Now Braxton's back in. Simpson swings out of the backfield. Here's the pass. J.D. Hill has it for still another first down. All the way down to the 17-yard line of Pittsburgh. The clock continues to run. 10.5 minutes to go in the game. The Bills driving behind the right arm of Joe Ferguson. Ferguson now has 11 completions and 23 attempts. for 165 yards and the one touchdown.
You know, Don, I hate to keep...
Two touchdowns, excuse me. Threw one to Simpson and to Seymour, right?
Yeah, that's right. I hate to keep bringing it up, but that fumble by Braxton was a big turning point because Buffalo's been playing pretty good ball around there.
They have. They've been the dominant team in the second half. And now it is 1st and 10 for the Bills at the 17-yard line of Pittsburgh. Joe Ferguson hands off to O.J. Simpson. He runs inside the 15. He's not done yet. He's down to the 13-yard line. Simpson hit behind the line of scrimmage, got free, and gets ahead for a gain of about 5 yards. Joe Green finally made the hit. Joe Green bounces off the turf as the Bills go back into a huddle. The clock's still running, however. Bills huddling very slowly for a team that's behind. They do not run plays quickly at all.
And that clock keeps right on rolling. 9:28 to go here in the ballgame. They're trailing 32-14. You'd think they'd be getting up there and calling 2 plays at a time, perhaps, even.
Joe Ferguson sets his team down. Mike Mottler is the center. McKenzie and Delanoy are the guards. Foley and Green the tackles. Here's the snap. Joe Ferguson rolls out to the near side, lofts it into the end zone. It's almost intercepted. Bob Chandler was going for the ball. It was almost intercepted as Glenn Edwards had his hands on it but dropped it.
That pass was way off the mark. Ferguson has been coming pretty close. The Bills only have 11 completions out of 23 attempts. The Steelers 11 out of 18 at the moment. And again, the scoreboard goes defense, defense. And anticipate the crowd will pick up that chance.
The ball is at the 13-yard line of Pittsburgh. It is 3rd down and 5 for Buffalo. Wide to the right, J.D. Hill. On the left flank is Ahmad Rashad. Joe Ferguson with an open set in the backfield. Simpson and Braxton as running back. Here's the snap. Ferguson drops. He looks, throws over the middle. The ball is dropped by Ahmad Rashad. He was hit as the ball came in by Mel Blunt. And that brings up 4th down and 5 for Buffalo at the Pittsburgh 13.
This is no way criticism, but I think the officials are letting some of those cornerbacks get away with a little bit more than we might ordinarily find in a ball game. Of course, there are judgment calls, and it's easy to sit up here and say that maybe it should have been an interference call, but that would look a little doubtful in my mind. 9 minutes and 3 seconds is all that remains, and the Buffalo Bills have themselves a 4th down situation. They've got to keep moving or give the ball up.
4th down and a long 5 for Buffalo at the Pittsburgh 13-yard line. Wow, the Bills going for it now for the 1st down. They have to, trailing 32-14 in the 4th quarter. Here is the throw. The ball is knocked down, incomplete, and Pittsburgh takes over the football. Lauren Taves, the 2nd-year linebacker from California, slaps the ball down. And the Steelers fans are on their feet and cheering.
And with the score, the Steelers 32, the Bills 14. There's a timeout on the field now. Frank Sweeney along with Don Crickey here at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with 8:59 to go. It looks like it's all the Steelers, 32-14. Don?
1st and 10 for Pittsburgh. The Steelers with the ball at their 13-yard line. They just knocked down a 4th down pass by Buffalo as the Bills made a desperate effort to get back in the game. Here is the handoff right up the middle. It's Franco Harris and his offensive guard, Jerry Mullins. Just powered their way all the way out to the 20-yard line. Looks like a train. 2 Steeler linemen in front of Franco Harris in a straight line.
They just took that Buffalo defensive line right with them as they moved up to the 21-yard line.
So now 2nd down arises for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2nd down and 2 as they'll be looking to run the clock with that ground offense. The clock shows 8 minutes and 28 seconds left to play in the game. After a very long 1st half, it's been a very short 2nd half. Here is the handoff. Running with the ball is Rocky Blyer. He gets out to the 23-yard line. Rocky Blyer gets out to the 23-yard line. Short of the 1st down, it would appear. No, they really got it. They ruled that Blyer got there. Last-ditch effort. Rocky Blyer gets ahead for the 1st down for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The ball is at the 23-yard line of Pittsburgh, and the clock continues to run, and time's so valuable now. The ally of the Pittsburgh Steelers, the clock, as it starts to run down. 7 minutes and 50 seconds left to go.
As you mentioned, Don, the 2nd half going along a lot faster than the 1st half. The 1st half took between an hour and 20 and an hour and 25 minutes.
Harry Bradshaw with a long count shouts out an audible to his offensive backs. He changed the play. He gives out straight ahead to Steve Davis. Davis hits out close to the 30-yard line. Straight ahead power run. And Steve Davis got out to the 30 to 31-yard line. That'll bring up second down and 2. And Pittsburgh is grinding it out now. The Buffalo Bills seemingly realizing outwardly that they're not in this game right now. Pittsburgh is moving out with a straight-ahead run offense, running the clock, controlling the ball. Gary Bradshaw stepped up at quarterback. Getting very cold now in Pittsburgh. Temperature dropping. Bradshaw kicks it on a quarterback keep, and he gets ahead to the 39 for a first down. On 2nd and 2, he took it himself right up the middle. That is the 26th first down in the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Gary Bradshaw's run 5 times so far in this game for a total of 48 yards. Throwing the ball, he's completed 12, 11 of 15 for 181 yards.
And the scoreboard shows the average gain per play. The Steelers 6.1 yards, 5.6 yards per try by the Bills. But the score is a lot different than those statistics show.
And that clock keeps running. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the game. The Pittsburgh Steelers heading towards the AFC Championship game. Here's a give to Rocky Flyer right up the middle. He's up to the 45-yard line. And a Buffalo Bill is flat on his back, but all right. Free safety Rex Kern was knocked down. Jim Chayefsky was on the tackle along with Rex Kern. The ball is out to the 45-yard line of Pittsburgh. A 6-yard gain. It will be second down and 4. Steelers grinding it out. Under 6 minutes to go now. 5:50 to play in the game. Steelers moving right to left here in the fourth quarter. They led at the half 29-7. Their only second half points have been a field goal by Roy Girella. Here is a give to Rocky Flyer. He is knocked down for a loss. Flyer tried to turn the corner, and Walt Patulski grabbed him and threw him down for a loss on the play, along with outside linebacker Dave Washington.
John, I'd like to bring up the point one more time. Yesterday, momentum went from the St. Louis Cardinals to the Minnesota Vikings when Bakken wasn't able to kick that field goal with 6 seconds remaining in the first half. And the third quarter was all Minnesota. Here, the Braxton fumble, and in that second quarter, Pittsburgh just went wild, and they have maintained that big pulse ever since. 5 minutes and 5 seconds remain in the game, and it's 32-14 the Steelers.
Wide to the right is Ron Shanklin. Wide to the left, Frank Lewis. Pittsburgh so deep in wide receivers, and they all get playing time. Chuck Noll uses all of them, and they've all been outstanding today. Here's Terry Bradshaw dropping the throw on 3rd and 6, puts it downfield. His tight end, John McNaken, makes the catch. And he has the first down all the way down to the 35-yard line of Buffalo. And the clock continues to run. 4:35 to play and running.
Mike Kadich, the second-year man out of Notre Dame, put a big hit on Terry Bradshaw, but Bradshaw is willing to take it to complete that kind of a pass to the tight end. So now the Steelers on the move again, and this crowd is lusting for it. They want more scores.
A 22-yard game. The entire sold-out arena is on its feet and cheering here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Joe Gilliam's coming to quarterback now.
Gary Bradshaw goes out. He gets a tremendous ovation, playing a brilliant game at quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jefferson Street, Joe Gilliam with the ball. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line of Buffalo. Pitch back to Steve Davis. Turns upfield. He's inside the 30 and down to the 26. And the clock continues to run as he stayed in bounds. 3:45 to play and the clock running. The ball is down to the 26-yard line of Buffalo. Terry Bradshaw, will give him those stats, Frank. They're pretty impressive.
Terry Bradshaw had 12 of 19 for 203 yards and 1 touchdown and 48 yards rushing in 5 carries. He is the Lazy Boy winner as the offensive player, and Jack Ham of Pittsburgh is the defensive winner. Our judges, Pat Livingston, Larry Fessler, and Larry Middleman.
Now the Steelers have it second down and 2. 3 minutes to go in the game. A give straight up the middle, and Rocky Flyer goes head over heels. Caroms to the 25-yard line and down to the 23. And bounces right back up.
The game continues at the beginning of side 4 after a short delay.
the ball is advanced to the 24-yard line, and Blyer got 2 yards and a first down on the carry.
And we're working down to the 2-minute mark now. 2 minutes and 45 seconds as that clock just keeps right on rolling, much as the Pittsburgh Steelers do. They're leading 32-14, and they're driving on for more score.
Wide to left goes Frank Lewis. Wide right is Ron Shanklin. 2:25 to play in the game. Joe Gilliam drops the throw, puts it up. The ball is caught by Frank Lewis, and he drops it incomplete. Frank Lewis had the ball at the Buffalo 5, ran about 2 steps and dropped it, and a Buffalo player is in the end zone and apparently knocked out. Now he's getting up.
I think he's okay. I think he was just disappointed that he couldn't turn the ball away.
Feelings, I think.
Yeah, that was Dwight Harrison. I think you're right. He didn't want to get up. He wanted to move the ball down to the line of scrimmage so he could get up without anybody looking at him.
But Lewis dropped the ball after he beat Dwight Harrison. Now 2:21 left to play in the game. It's second down and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 24-yard line of Buffalo. 32-14. The Steelers lead the game, and they're headed against Oakland in the AFC Championship game next Sunday. Here is a give to Steve Davis, running hard. He gets down close to the 20-yard line. He is thrown back on a charge of white jerseys led by Walt Patulski and Mike Kadish. Third down coming up, and that will bring us to the 2-minute warning. The 2-minute warning coming up.
And there it is, the 2-minute warning with the score. The Pittsburgh Steelers 32 and the Buffalo Bills 14. Time out on the field now this for contact.
Give your hand to a friend. Give your heart to your love. But give your coat to contact. The sooner the better. A common cold is a rotten thing. You miss so much. Sneezing, drips, and congestion can drag you down. Then ask yourself the contact question. 6 for 3 or what? You'd need 6 cold tablets, 2 every 4 hours, or 3 ounces of Coles liquid, 1 every 4 hours, or just 1 contact for up to 12 hours continuous relief of those symptoms. That's daytime, then nighttime relief. Both the others have things for aches and fever, and the liquid is something for coughs. Not found in Contact 600 tiny pack pills. Give your cold the contact. The sooner the better. 6 for 3 or 1. Take Contact. Only as directed.
At the Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is Frank Sweeney along with Don Crickey. 2 minutes remaining in the game. The Steelers lead it 32-14. The Steelers have the ball just outside the Buffalo Bills 20-yard line. Third down. And you can rest assured that they'll probably get on the board either by way of a touchdown or if they can move it ahead to short of the first down, they'll bring in Jarrella for a field goal try. John?
It is now third down and 6 for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the 21-yard line of Buffalo. 2 minutes to play in the game. Pittsburgh 32, Buffalo 14. Joe Gilliam's running with the ball, and the quarterback keeps. He has the first down. He's all the way down to the 8-yard line, and he gets a standing ovation. Jefferson Street, Joe Gilliam takes it himself on a quarterback keep. He rolls out to the near side and gets all the way down to the 8-yard line before Dwight Harrison knocks him down. Joe Gilliam, here's the applause.
A beautiful bootleg on that. He had an insult to injury to the Buffalo Bills with that play because here with the clock running at 1 minute 29 seconds to go in the game, Buffalo on the defense and the Bills in their huddle. They're thinking all the time that they can before they come out of that huddle.
A minute and 13 seconds to go in the game. First and goal for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 8-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. Wide receivers to either side. Joe Gilliam in for Terry Bradshaw now in the closing moments of the game. Here's a gift to Steve Davis. But before he took off with the ball, he was going in for a touchdown. The play was whistled dead. Before the snap of the ball, we might have a procedure call against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think they're going to call it delay of the game, Don, because the official back in the end zone threw the flag down, and the Steelers just took a little bit too much time. They've got 1 minute and 4 left, and they move the ball back now to the 13-yard line. Let's see what Jefferson Street Joe Gilliam will do in this situation. There's no doubt about who the winner is here. 32-14. The Pittsburgh Steelers will be packing their bags for a trip to the West Coast and the Oakland Raiders next Sunday.
Now the Steelers break the huddle. 1 minute and 4 seconds to play in the game. First and goal from the 14-yard line. Here is the handoff straight up the middle to Steve Davis. He gets inside the 10 and down to the 8. Back to what was the line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up second and goal from there. The clock is running, 50 seconds left to play in the game. Apparently, Chuck Noll is telling the Steelers don't put up another touchdown. This thing is settled as it is at 32-14 because he's letting the clock run. 38 seconds left to go, and now a timeout, an official timeout is signaled for by the referee, and he comes in and talks to the Steelers in their huddle about something. There's a timeout on the field with the score, the Steelers 32 and the Bills 14, and now this word.
And it's practically all over here at Three River Stadium, except the shouting, as the Pittsburgh Steelers will take this game and put it into the history books as their ticket to the West Coast and the championship game in the AFC against the Oakland Raiders next week from Oakland, California. The crowd here shows their appreciation. 38 seconds show on the clock, the official scoreboard clock. And again, the officials are taking a little short on that timeout period. They are indicating they're just about ready to put that ball into play. Give us enough time, will you, fellas, for our fine network stations along the way to do their duty for their good clients that have been bringing you these football games throughout the season. 38 seconds ago, it's second down, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have the ball with 38 seconds. Let's see if they're going to get that extra point.
38 seconds left to play. The Steelers break the huddle. The closing moment of this game, they have led it from the second quarter when they broke it open. It's now 32-14. The Steeler fans yelling, "We want Oakland." They're going to get Oakland next Sunday. That might be more than they need. Here's a pass into the end zone by Gilly as they try to put up another touchdown. It's incomplete to Frank Lewis. Apparently, Chuck Noll is not going to try to hold it down. That stops the clock with 34 seconds left to play. Everyone at Mutual Broadcasting System, President Ed Little, Vice President, Head of Programming, our Executive Producer, Jack Clemens, all the lads you can be with us all season long for Notre Dame football, National Football League action on Monday night, and National Football League playoff action. This is Don Cookie with Frank Sweeney. Lindsey Nelson, Dave Martin are standing by in Los Angeles, California, where the Washington Redskins will meet the Rams following this game. And that, too, will come to you on the Mutual Broadcasting System. Our spotter statistician all season long, Buck Jersey. And now here's a handoff to Steve Davis. Turns inside the 10. He's down at the 1-yard line. Did not get in. The officials don't give it to him. Hit down at the 1 and slid into the end zone. But they ruled he was down outside. 27 seconds, 19 seconds left to play now. Steelers huddling slowly. And they're going to go into formation without a huddle. They want more of this. I don't know what they don't like about Buffalo, but
7, 6, 5 seconds.
Here's a tip back to Rocky Blyer, last play of the game, and he is knocked out of bounds. Rocky Blyer is knocked out of bounds, does not get in for the touchdown. Fans now swarm the field as the final gun sounds and the Pittsburgh Steelers win 32-14.